I'm Lisa Lacera. A Pakistani man with purported ties to Iran has been charged by the Justice Department in a plot to carry out political assassinations in the U.S., including against former President Trump. Asif Merchant has been charged with murder for hire. The Justice Department says Merchant traveled to New York City to hire a hitman to carry out the plot. The would-be hitmen were undercover FBI agents. More of the same. That's the accusation from Ohio Senator and Republican vice presidential nominee J.D. Vance after it was announced Minnesota Governor Tim Walz is Vice President Kamala Harris's choice for running mate.
Kamala Harris is running as a San Francisco liberal. She is governed as a San Francisco liberal, and she's chosen a running mate who will be a San Francisco-style liberal.
Vance speaking at a rally in Philadelphia.
Tim Walz's record is a joke. He's been one of the most far-left radicals in the entire United States government at any level. But I think that what Tim Walz's selection says is that Kamala Harris has bent the knee to the far left of her party, which is what she always does.
That said, he did call Walz and congratulate him and says he will debate him once he becomes the official nominee. Sirens sounding in northern Israel as Hezbollah fires drones, injuring several people.
Later in the day, the leader of Hezbollah, Hassan Nasrallah, making an address to the world, issuing new threats against Israel. And it comes as the country is bracing for what is expected to be a massive attack by Iran and its proxies, including Hezbollah and the Houthis in Yemen. The Israelis are on high alert at this hour. They worry that this response to the killing of Hamas political leader Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran just last week will be widespread.
Fox's Trey Inks in northern Israel. This as Hamas says it's chosen the mastermind of the October 7th attacks as its new leader. America's listening to Fox News.
Well, summer's here and the weather is beautiful. Everyone has a favorite outdoor activity: golf, bike riding, bird watching, long walks. Ask 100 people, you'll get 100 answers. But if everyday aches and pains are keeping you on the sidelines, I have one answer: Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a 100% drug-free daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients. It doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it. Wherever you're hurting, back, neck, joints, or muscles, in 3 weeks or less, you'll start to feel the difference all day, every day. So whatever you like to do, swimming, pickleball, hanging out in the garden, Relief Factor can help you feel good again and let you enjoy all your favorite outdoor activities all summer long. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF and save on your first order. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Fight pain naturally with Relief Factor.
Virgil Dominic, 11 Dead or Alive. Sorry, look out. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete Davis, sidekick producer, sports rec on tour extraordinaire, and the mechanical magler at the controls. It's Flounder Tuesday. What a day.
The day I was born.
What do you want to talk about? Holy smokes. This is going to be fun. And again, there's a million things to react to. The choice of the vice president on the ticket for the Democrats. Holy cow. Anyway, Kimmer here about Pete Davis Flounder. Here's number 404. 404-741 1230 741-1230. Pete Davis, anything new in the last 24 hours?
Yeah. I got to warn you, the next few weeks, I'm going to become uglier and uglier.
And why is that again, sir?
I went to the doctor this morning, and they froze off several things on my head.
Oh? What, are you getting like red spots and stuff?
Yeah, so...
that's all right.
They warned me that they'll look like...
Is this like a precancerous thing or what?
Oh, it's not precancer, it's not cancer, but it's like precautionary.
Well...
Because my dad had it, and it's you get those genes and stuff like that. You're
so
susceptible.
Yeah.
He was a ginger though. That's what happened. But they're saying, yeah, you're gonna look like Deadpool for a while. So,
well, you remember when I had my FU-Dex?
Oh yeah.
In fact, I haven't been.
Why were you mad at Dex?
No, thank you so much. I haven't had, Flounder, I'm sorry, I don't mean to ignore you, sir. What's anything new in the cave of darkness in there? Is he in there?
I'm here. All is well on this side of the board as normal.
There you are. Oh, and he could tape that, I guess. No. I'm wondering him, sir.
Not a bad idea.
I had to run over a bastard on the way to the battery.
One day.
Just one time, he can give me a little something.
I'm in a wheelchair today, Kimmer.
I ran down a bank robber, ran right the hell over him. The cops almost took me in custody or something.
I lost a leg.
Make up a story once in a while. Would you? Sorry. By the way, Yeoman worked for Flounder today. He's got like 15 sound bites. You had to get him all this stuff. So anyway, I have no idea what I was saying. Crap, it was good too. Crap.
F you, Dex.
Oh, yeah. So, and I was saying, I have not had a skin check, a dermatology skin check in years.
You need to do it.
And by the way, when you look at all the crap on my arms and I got little like dark dots coming up all of a sudden, and I think it's what they call liver spots or old man spots or something.
I can see 3 warning spots right now.
Well, I mean, and again, I think I should probably do it just in general principle. And years ago, this was back, God, had to be early 2000s, I don't know, at least 20 years ago. And the guy said, "Oh, well, we got a couple of spots there. We're going to take care, give you a little treatment. It's called Fudex, and it's cream." And he put a dot on my forehead, and I think he put a dot on each cheek. Or he gave me the 2, whatever it was. And within, I don't know whether it was that night or the next or whatever, it wasn't that long. All of a sudden, my face turned so bright red and weeping that it looked like I had been burned in a furnace. Oh. I mean, my whole, and I had to go to work. I mean, this lasted for like 10 days or 2 weeks or something. And my whole face was, I mean, it looked like I'd been caught in a fire. And it was, was dripping. It was awful. But I'll tell you what, my face was as smooth as a baby's bottom. I'll tell you. I mean, it cleaned off that entire badness of those levels of skin, and so far, Anyway, but so that's good. I should do that.
You should.
I should do that. Anyway, Flounder, anything? I guess we said everything new. The thing. Okay. All right. We got so much on this vice president thing. I can't even hardly believe it. I also have 2 gentlemanly stories on my part. That I wish passed along at some point during the day.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
Things I did, and I want to pass along an example of things that young men who I don't think anybody has. I don't think any family or any group of people have any intention anymore of teaching basic manners, basic consideration.
Let's see if you get to those stories because there's a lot
we'll
going
get to
on.
those later. Okay, Vice President, they must be going all in. Carmela's side piece said clearly, no Jews. There is only one way to look at this. They were so afraid of offending the far left socialist wing of the party. Can you imagine what would have happened if they had gone with a Jewish guy? I mean,
they thought about it. He was the number one guy.
And then, in fact, somewhere in here in one of these mass stories is that when Carmela met with him on Sunday, apparently they really clicked, and that was what did it, was her personal meeting to say, well, he's going to be baloney. This was all this was all afraid of the Jew haters in the Democrat Party.
We have now a San Francisco socialist and a Minnesota Marxist because he's come out and said he's a socialist. So if he admits he's a socialist, he's a Marxist because the Democrats say they're Democrats, but they're really socialists.
You're going to hear all this, by the way. You're going to hear him say the word. You're going to hear all this stuff about the power brokers. You're going to hear some reaction to this time. I mean, also, J.D. Vance, what Donald Trump has to say. I mean, this is going to go on and on and on. By the way, this guy Walz, the governor, was the first guy who started calling Republicans weird. And in fact, check this out too. The Harris campaign paid attention when this guy Walz. He was the first one who made a national thing. Boy, those Republicans are weird. J.D. Vance, he's weird, and they all started saying. Remember, it was talking points. They all started saying weird. Harris selected her campaign. Listened because they then sent out an email. A massive email, a blast or whatever they call it, to everybody to continue the weird attacks against the Republican ticket. They all said it.
Who's saying Walz was the first? Because I think they even talked on Clay and Buck that the Kentucky governor was first out saying going after Vance like that.
I don't know what to tell you.
It's just interesting now saying it's Walz because I've been hearing his brochure the whole time.
But they'll say or do anything, gaslighting to try to. He's the star of the thing. I mean, it's unbelievable. And then listen to this too. The fact that Harris selected a candidate who does well online. Again, that was the other thing. He's a social media guy. He's all over the place online. In fact, one of the things they were afraid about that he was going to upstage her. Anyway, his not surprising great he does online, but the campaign has embraced coconut tree and the word brat on TikTok and stuff.
Brat is a new word for cool. Isn't that typical of this generation?
Yeah,
they think that a brat is something that should be slapped and sent in the corner.
Arrogant.
They think that's cool. To act like a brat is cool.
Now, I was not aware of this. This is all
It's
this stuff
kind
is
of new, isn't it?
Yeah,
The
and
brat
I'd say
thing?
the past year or two. I mean,
I don't even know.
It's so
trend.
stupid.
I mean, it's unbelievable. All right, let's play some sound bites here, Flounder. Let's play number 2. This is where, in 9 seconds, you will know exactly where the Democrat Party stands. This is the governor that she picked to be her vice president. Number 2.
But we can get out there, reach out, make the case. And for one thing, don't ever shy away from our progressive values. One person's socialism is another person's neighborliness.
Excuse me? What? One person's socialist is another person's neighborliness?
Yeah. I don't want a socialist as a neighbor.
Oh, my God. Okay, let's keep going. How about Mr. Walz? Cut number 7, Flounder. Mr. Walz, the governor, talking about those valuable votes and all those valuable red states he flies over all the time.
You see those maps, red and blue, and there's all that red across there, and Democrats go into depression over it. It's mostly rocks and cows that are in that red area.
Rocks and cows. That's what he thinks about most of the country.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Guess
right,
what? That's what New Yorkers think about Minnesota. They're flyover states.
Yep, that's exactly what he's thinking of. I mean, they're saying it.
Did you know he was arrested for DUI?
I've got that coming up.
96 miles per hour and 55. Did you know what he said to the cops when they walked up to him?
Yeah.
He pretended to be deaf.
Yeah, and then his campaign, when he got caught, because the cops said, bull crap, horse feathers.
What?
He was smelled like alcohol, the whole thing. He failed a sobriety test, by the way, too. And this is on the cop's record. And when he claimed that he was deaf, and that was what his problem was, that he couldn't walk straight line, his campaign, I swear to God, when he got to court, his campaign said, well, he had that medically corrected, so, he's okay now.
Oh, he's not deaf anymore.
It's okay now.
He's okay now.
Periodic deaf.
Anyway, so that's one of the many things.
That's actually the most interesting thing about the man, that he said he was deaf to the cop.
And now he's cured. Now he's cured.
Yeah, let's say the cop comes up. So let's see, your license and registration. What?
I can't hear you. I never heard your siren, officer. Oh, my God. And one more quick thing is we got so much about this. And by the way, we would love to hear your phone calls, especially if you're Jewish. I mean, it's a thing, whether we all like it or not. And by the way, why would you, as a Jewish voter, vote for these people? I'm throwing it out there. No one will ever call and say why.
And over the weekend, when they leaked it was going to be Shapiro,
that's right.
all of a sudden, all these leaks came out about all these bad things. There was 3 different stories about him.
So that he wouldn't be exactly. And she said it was Sunday, her meeting Sunday, that clinched it. No, it was all the reports about the Jew haters in the Democrat Party.
And everybody else told her to blow sand.
Yeah, exactly. And this was Barack Hussein Putitat and Nancy Pelosi, who's going to hell when she dies. And they were behind the whole, and suspected child molester Chuck Schumer. All those 3 got together, and this is the ball game. And by the way, I'll guarantee you that guy from Kentucky, Blackshear, whatever it is, I'll bet he wanted no part of this.
No. I knew someone wanted no part.
Nobody wanted any part of this.
Well, there was something trending on Twitter that apparently 12 people rejected the offer.
Make it 13. I rejected it too. And so did Ben Shapiro, the wrong Shapiro. That's
the wrong
14.
Shapiro.
Oh, my God. All right, 313. We got so much more. Please call us if you'd like to get this off your chest one way or the other. 404-741-1230. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, how you doing today on your Tuesday?
Hey, it's Rhino from The Morning Extra, getting your weekday morning started from 6 to 10 a.m.
What did you see in 2020?
Riots.
We're going to see this in 2025.
If Trump's elected, get ready. It will be absolute chaos. I'm fearful of that.
It was good to see leaders like Rich McCormick, who went out there, Mike Collins, and they put the flags back.
Were the Democrats going to go do it? Not one single Democrat. Name me one that would have went out there and put those flags up.
The Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. on XTRA 106.3 FM and the XTRA app.
Jim Niarchos here with exciting news. The All Four Seasons Home Show returns to Atlanta Radio this Saturday morning at 9, bringing you advice and tips from some of Georgia's top business owners. Join Dan Watkins and myself when we will be helping you make smarter purchases, save money, and keep from getting ripped off. That's the All Four Seasons Home Show every Saturday morning at 9, right here on XTRA 106.3.
Hey, it's Tug from my friends, the Frost family of First Liberty Building and Loan. You hear about their family's company all the time here on Extra 106.3. First Liberty has helped hundreds of small businesses grow by saying yes when the big banks say no. On Wall Street, opportunities to earn big returns are everywhere. But for Main Street investors, those opportunities are hard to find. Until now. Our First Liberty notes are now open to qualified Main Street investors, paying interest rates of 8 to 13% while helping fuel the growth of small businesses right here in Georgia. With a few basic qualifications and with as little as $25,000, qualified Main Street investors just like you can earn an 8 to 13% interest rate. If this is you, they'd love to hear from you. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com and consider joining the First Liberty family today. That's FirstLibertyGA.com. FirstLibertyGA.com.
First Liberty notes are not obligations of or guaranteed by any financial institution and are not secured by any collateral. They are not FDIC insured or guaranteed by any government agency. You could lose money. Purchasers must verify their SEC accredited investor status. Securities are not being offered in any jurisdiction in which it is unlawful.
There are crazies on the road. Who knows where they're all going, but if one of them hits you, don't take care of it on your own. Call my friend David Van Sant. He is the lawyer that used to work for the insurance company. The team at Van Sant Law knows who to call, what to say, and will make sure you get what you deserve and what the insurance company doesn't want to pay for. They have your best interest at heart and will take care of everything. If you don't get paid, they don't get paid. My advice, save Van Sant Law in your phone. Today, 855-GA-INJURY, vansantlaw.com.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
Have you heard about Sonder and their Georgia-based Medicare Advantage health plans? Sonder Health Plans is committed to revolutionizing healthcare, making it straightforward, personal, and affordable. Call them and ask if you qualify for their fantastic $400 grocery card offer and $0 premiums. They've even got their own radio show and podcast called Weekend Wellness, dedicated to keeping all Georgians healthy and happy at every age. Call 800-331-2928 or visit SonderHealthPlans.com. Sonder Health Plans is an HMO with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Sonder Health Plans depends on contract renewal.
This is a little hard to believe, but they tell me that on this day in 2016, Swedish music streaming service Spotify reported The Girl from Ipanema was streamed more than 40,000 times after it was played with supermodel Giselle Bundchen walking on stage during the 2016 Olympics in Rio. 40,000 streams when she walked on stage. First became a hit for Astrid Gilberto and Stan Getz, a famous orchestra guy, in 1964, peaked at number 5. And this was a huge song, and it still lasts, and it was great everywhere. Oh yeah, it was great song. It was everywhere, and still is great. All right, quickly to the phones. Rocco, hey, you're on the radio. Cameron, Pete, and Flounder. How's it going, man? What do you think?
Hey, what's going on, Cameron? Hey, listen, I'm not really one to vote early, but this year, we're going to have to vote early because I don't put anything past the Democrats. Because all of a sudden, last week or a couple weeks ago, we woke up and you couldn't get on an airplane.
Yeah, that's right. Now let me ask you this:
I don't put anything on election day to pull some sort of computer glitch, some software update, and where you can't vote.
Yeah. Now let me ask you this:
and all of a sudden,
okay, I'm going to ask you a little bit.
We're going to be down for an hour or so, whatever, and people leave the line.
Well, let me ask you this then: are you going to do only early voting in person when they open up early weekends, or are you going to do mail voting?
I'm going to do just whenever, but I want early vote because I don't trust them on election day.
Smart.
To mess with the system.
Yep, I agree. Rocco, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Phone calls take priority. Martin, you're on the radio with the Killer Pete and Flounder. Martin, what do you think?
You know, a little advice for Rocco. You know, if he wants his vote to count, he needs to vote early and often.
And often, yes. Daily. Just to know they will.
Yes. Poor Carmela, she is a rough decision, and she wanted to sleep on him over the weekend. I'm wondering if it had anything to do with the Jewish thing, the top-down, no hood on the unit.
Absolutely. Cut off their heads. Off with their heads, as Elaine once said on Seinfeld.
Right.
It was all anti-Jewish. They were scared. Oh, my God, if they had picked a Jewish guy, can you imagine the Jew haters in the Democrat Party? It's like 40% of the Democrat Party would have gone nuts. And you know that they would have gotten her. This would have been a nightmare for them. They caved in. It was a coup to get rid of Biden, and it was a coup to make sure that she was told what to do. Oh, what a disgrace. I hope to God someday historians look back at this and just shame these people forever. Anyway, sorry.
Well, had they picked Shapiro, there was no chance in where that they would get Michigan. I mean, hello.
I mean, Mike, Hamtramck, isn't that all Somalian? And by the way, half of Minnesota's Somalian. And by the way, the governor changed their flag to the Somalian flag.
So it looks like the Somalian flag.
Somalian flag all of a sudden in Minnesota. I mean,
what's wrong with you people up there? Square heads.
Yeah. It's the cold. It numbs their brain.
It must be the cold. I once turned down an anchor job in Minneapolis because I didn't want to go to Minneapolis. I mean, it's a beautiful city. I've driven through there. And of course, summer is 4 days in August, but unfortunately, it's a beautiful and there are 10,000 lakes. I mean, it's a gorgeous state, the whole state. But my God, I mean, it's 80 below zero for 6 months of the year. I mean, is everything snow blowers? I mean, boots. Oh, geez, who needs it?
Well, you have about 3 or 4 weeks of 80, 90-degree weather, and then back to the snow.
And then it's over, Anyway, Martin, great to talk to you. It's always 322.
Babylon B.
Yes.
Josh Shapiro annoyed. He got this Death to Israel neck tattoo for nothing.
In fact, there's a couple of them. If I could only find my phone now. In fact, by the way, I have 2 Babylon B sports things here for you, Pete. One Babylon piece says, historic. Kamala Harris becomes first black woman to destroy world economy. And then my other favorite right after, which ties in completely, Carmela desperately Googles, what is a stock market crash? Anyway. There's actually one more. Democrats worried choosing Jewish vice president may cost them the all-important death to America vote. I mean, honestly, they caved. Is there any other explanation?
He was the guy, and they floated his name out there on a Friday, and by Monday, he was toast.
Yeah, that's right. They got rid of the Jewish guy because it was a trial balloon to see what stuck on the wall, and they found out, and they made their decision based on,
does this kill him in the future for any national? Because it doesn't look good for him.
I don't know whether it'll kill him beyond her ticket, but it kills him what he stands for.
And they say Fetterman is the one who put the knife in him.
Yeah.
That Fetterman told her he will knife you in the back.
Yeah. He will. He'll take over. He's more concerned about his future and himself, and you'll be the second person on the ticket if they do that. Fetterman,
How rare is it for a Democrat though to turn on another Democrat like that?
They did a coup. The Democrat Party kicked out their president. I mean, they say we're going to kick you out. We're literally going to take away your presidency if you don't stop trying to run.
We talked about this before we went on here, the fact that I think this means they don't think they'll win. They hope they're going to win, but they don't think they're going to win. Yeah. So now they're going to throw the most left-leaning, socialist-leaning thing out there. And then it's a trial run.
And then 2028.
And learn from their mistakes and see how far can we push America? How many votes will we get in America with this lousy ticket? How about if we put a really good left-leaning guy out there who can really speak, that's really smart, and see how many votes. They're going to learn from the mistakes this time if they lose.
Well, it seems to me that if they wanted to do that, they would have done it against a candidate unlike Trump. I mean, Trump is a whole thing.
But he's only got 4 more years.
But he's a one-time. He's one and done.
Well, again, I don't know.
One-term president.
I literally can't believe it. I can't believe that she's running. That she's never gotten a vote. The primaries nobody ever voted for. So the whole thing is just a nightmare.
What's scary that half half the country, all the Democrats think this is a good way to do it.
Right, exactly. Again, this is the same party, so-called saving our democracy by stopping Donald Trump from being part of the ticket. So you can't vote for the opposition.
Their parents and grandparents, today's Democrats, were the ones in Chicago in 68 in the streets attacking their own convention because they were tired of the guys in the smoke-filled rooms picking the candidates.
That's right.
And who did they pick? Hubert Humphrey, who was
Humphrey
pro-war.
and Mondale, the Minnesota liberals, and again, back in the 60s, this was, I can't wait for their convention. What is it, next week? It's
coming up.
2 weeks. What tail's today? 6th?
It's August.
Yeah, I think a couple of weeks. Oh, man, this ought to be rich.
But this is the same people who they fought to get the decisions out of the smoke-filled rooms, and now they're right back to it, and they think it's okay.
And it's even worse. Again, I can't believe, other than, I don't know who, maybe the guy, Joe Rogan or so. No, who's the other guy? Bill Maher. Maybe Bill Maher will finally realize, I guess he's already talked about it. They performed a coup. Their own party got rid of their own president. That's not, when has that ever happened?
This is a party that brought back segregation. After their forefathers fought against it and marched and died to get rid of segregation, they brought it back.
And by the way, their vice president ticket to this guy, Tim Walz, it's W-A-L-Z, Walz, I guess it is.
Sounds German to me.
There has been a letter now circulating from the Minnesota National Guard. He was a member of the Minnesota National Guard. After 2001, in early 2003, Walz attended the U.S. Army Sergeant's Major Academy. It's a course with 2 years correspondence coursework, 2 weeks residence phase, and it's a senior non-commed officer. You accept enrollment. You have stipulations. You have to serve 2 years after graduating. And this is like going to college for 2 years. It's a serious thing. In the summer of 2003, he deployed with our field artillery unit in support of Operation Enduring Freedom to Italy. He was there to help the Air Force in Italy, okay? There was no way the units were going to go to the battalion, replacing any units in the war zone in Iraq or Afghanistan. When they got back to Minnesota that spring, he was selected by high-level command sergeants major to serve in the position of command sergeant major. This is important because that's a thing. There was a warning order issued to the Field Artillery Battalion, which included the position he was serving in, to prepare to be mobilized for active duty for deployment to Iraq in early 2005. In May, he quit. And again, this is a letter from the non-coms in his unit. He quit, leaving the artillery battalion and its soldiers hanging without its senior non-commed officer as a battalion prepared for war. His excuse to other leaders was that he needed to retire in order to run for Congress, which is not true. Department of Defense could have done all kinds of stuff. If he had retired normally and respectfully, you would think he would have ensured his retirement documents were correctly filled out and signed. He would have ensured he was reduced to master sergeant for dropping out of the academy. Instead, he waited for the paperwork to catch up to him. The official retirement document states, soldier not available for signature. Later that year, 2005, the conditionally promoted command sergeant major was reduced to master sergeant. Again, enlisted ranks are extremely important about this. When you are reduced to rank to master sergeant, it took a while for the system to catch up because no one had ever been there before. No one had ever quit the position he was in or dropped out of it. It had never happened. In November that 2006, he was elected to the House of Representatives, claimed to be the highest ranking enlisted service member ever to serve in Congress. Well, he was conditionally promoted to command sergeant major. Remember, we talked about that, but he quit before his obligations were met. He was reduced in rank to master sergeant for retirement. He served at the rank but was never qualified at that rank and received retirement benefits at one rank below. So you be the judge of whether he was honest about this stolen valor or not. It's gut-wrenching and sad to explain. This letter says, when the nation called, he quit. He failed to complete the United States Army Sergeant's Major Academy, failed to serve the 2 years after completion of the academy, which he dropped out of, failed to serve the 2 years after conditional promotion to Command Sergeant Major, failed to fulfill the 6 full years of enlistment he signed on in September 2001. He failed his country. He failed his state. He failed the Minnesota Army National Guard and the Field Artillery Battalion and his fellow soldiers, and he failed to lead by example. Shameful. Signed, Thomas Behrens, Command Sergeant Major, retired. I'll tell you, there's almost nothing worse than stolen valor. Again, I'm really biased about this kind of thing, but I promise you, this is a thing. If anybody serving in the military, this is going to be a thing. I hope.
Well, the sad thing is, their side is not going to listen to any of this. Even if you said it to them, they wouldn't listen. They won't care.
In the Army National Guard. He served his country, and by God, he's an American. And by the way, coming up, Donald Trump already has a great ad out. And you know that they were preparing for any possible... But anyway, there's a great ad out. And you'll also hear from J.D. Vance and Van Jones on CNN. We got so much more with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 404-741-1230, 741-1230. We'll also talk about more of Walz's history, including the snitch line, where during COVID, he cracked down everywhere. Total mask, stay in your house, and he had a hotline for neighbors to fink on other neighbors who were not wearing their masks. That's 3:30, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. That's your new VP, they hope.
XTRA 106.3 is the only station in Atlanta to bring you unedited news, information, and updates. With an all-star lineup of local and network voices, XTRA is committed to being the station you need during the biggest election of our lifetime.
This presidential election is unlike any other.
Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station is XTRA 106.3 FM. And listen across Georgia on the XTRA app.
All right, look out now. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer. 331 404-741-1230. I'm going to ask Jeff and Mark at Atlanta Safe House to build me a family storm shelter to keep the Kimmer safe. If those people get elected, this country, there's going to be a problem. And if you feel the need to keep safe, well, first keep your stuff safe. Keep your documents safe. Keep your, medical records. I already told you about that, which I didn't do when I went to Florida and so whatever. So to learn from my mistakes. Not only that, things like a living will, which I have. My kids know what to do with their banking records, financial records, stuff about your mortgage or your house, or, wedding and divorce documents and all that stuff. Jewelry, cash, documents you want to hide from somebody. And by the way, Atlanta Safe House, you'll love these guys. They have a showroom in Ackworth, by the way. And, they love it when they're on Industrial Boulevard, showroom in Ackworth. Just stop and say, hey, the Kimmer was talking about you. Hi, just look at their stuff and have them a happy howdy, and everybody will be happy. Anyway, they love when you do that. Just stop in and pop in and say howdy. And check out their safes, beautiful pistol safes. And the gun safes, and again, the gun safes are big, beautiful things like getting a bank. But again, it's not just a big empty thing inside. They have shelving units and nooks and crannies and anything you're looking for to protect your assets. Not that little plastic box at the pharmacy with a little teeny key in it. That's not a safe, my friend. They only use off-duty police, firefighters, and military to deliver because you can trust those guys in your house or your office. Please mention the Kimmer when you talk to them. Their showroom in Ackworth and on the web with all these great prices and great safes for anything you need. AtlantaSafeHouse.com.
As an official community partner of the Atlanta Braves and the Atlanta Braves Foundation, the Warrior Alliance connects warriors and their families to free services such as health and wellness, housing, employment, education, legal services, and so much more. We need your financial support to increase our impact and change thousands of lives for those who served in the U.S. Armed Forces. It takes more than just thank you for your service. Make a donation to help warriors navigate to success after service. Go to thewarrioralliance.org/donate and make a difference today.
Have you considered securing your family's future, protecting your hard-earned assets, navigating complex legal matters with ease? Nelson Elder Care Law is here to guide and empower you and your loved ones. As a family-owned and family-focused business, our mission is to exceed your expectations, offering absolute assurance and peace of mind. With our trademarked Absolute Protection Trust and expertise in customized estate planning, Medicaid crisis solutions, probate administration, guardianship, and conservatorship, Nelson Elder Care Law protects what matters most to you. Imagine a team dedicated to safeguarding your legacy every step of the way. Our flat fees ensure transparency, and our customized plans prioritize your family's specific needs. Are you worried about protecting your family and your legacy after you're gone? Let us help you ensure you're absolutely protected from whatever curveballs life may throw your way. Schedule a complimentary legacy planning meeting with our legal team in Marietta or Woodstock today. Contact us at 678-250-9355 or visit at nelsoneldercarelaw.com.
Diamonds Direct Atlanta is now open. The nation's fastest growing jewelry store now is a location right here in Buckhead. Shopping for the perfect ring to pop the question? Or maybe an everyday diamond tennis bracelet? The experts at Diamonds Direct are sure to have exactly what you're looking for, no matter the occasion. With the lowest direct importer pricing, you can expect the best selection of certified diamonds at unmatched prices, all within a luxury showroom atmosphere that makes you feel right at home. Come see what other jewelers are trying to replicate. Diamonds Direct's unbeatable after-the-sale guarantees and warranties warranties are the best you can find. Free cleanings, sizing, polishing, accent diamond replacement for the lifetime of your purchase. If that's not enough, they also offer a 110% upgrade policy for you to use as often as you'd like on your diamond engagement ring, pendant, or studs. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, come see how Diamonds Direct is reinvigorating the jewelry industry at their brand new Buckhead showroom. When you want to have complete confidence in your jewelry buying experience, shop with the experts at Diamonds Direct. Now open on the corner of Maple Drive Northeast and Peachtree.
All right, look out now. There we go. Marilyn Manson, stand by. Was anyone who brutalized that cute actress girl? Allegedly. He did it. We all know it.
We don't know that.
What's her name? I forgot her name.
I'm not going to say her name.
Oh, my God. You're such a...
Well, you're just alleging something that may not be true.
Of course it's true. Everybody knows it's true. She sued him, and he didn't deny. Everybody knows it's true. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I don't care. What do I care? I'll never see
you said a bad word.
They're not. I came close to saying a bad word.
I heard.
2007, Marilyn Manson was being sued. The innocent man, sued by a former band member who said he was owed $20 million in profits. Stephen Beer played keyboards under the stage name Madonna Wayne Gacy. Claimed he was not. Oh my God! I'm trying to hear the music in the background. It's driving me. I'm going to hurt somebody. He was not paid properly over a period of almost 2 decades. Legal papers in L.A. claim Manson falsely told him the band was not making any money, and he used band money to buy a $2 million house and collect Nazi memorabilia, including coat hangers used by Adolf Hitler. Marilyn
coat
Manson
hangers?
had Hitler's coat hangers. Why in the... One time when I was over at the radio station, a guy came in to visit during the Iraq War, and he came in wearing a military shirt from Saddam Hussein's closet. He was one of the guys who went into the palace after he was caught, and they were clearing it all this stuff. And he took one of Saddam Hussein's shirts with all the patches and everything on it. He showed it. He brought it right in the studio, wore it right there. I couldn't believe it.
I like the photos of Easy Company at Birch's Garden, and they were drinking Hitler's wine, got drunk.
Oh, the spoils of war. Birthdays include Randy DeBarge. Randy DeBarge is 66, one of the supergroup DeBarge folks. Hits include The Rhythm of the Night and all that stuff. He was in the original DeBarge, which over the years included Chico, Mark, James, Bobby, Bunny, and Elle. Are they the ones who did the song "Who's Holding Somebody Now"? The girl song, "I Wonder Who's Holding Somebody Now." Idea. I thought that was by DeBarge. Beautiful song, but it's horrible because somebody else got his girlfriend. And now, your history. On this day in 1925, their modern-day technology in 1925 was getting too damn invasive. Yes, apparently the number of telephone booths was ballooning at general stores all over the country. And local townsfolk in 1925 complained that this is not in the public interest. You people should not be putting public phones for people to be talking in public places where people shop. Because it just wasn't gentlemanly, or it was untoward. 1925.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Anything happening in the news?
Well, I got to do the history and the birthday, and now let's play some stuff. She picked that idiot from Moscow. By the way, we were just talking before in the rear. I have a whole bunch of things on this governor. He's the one who put tampon machines in boys' bathrooms.
Yeah.
He's the one who had the Fink line. If you saw your neighbor without a mask on, call the hotline to report them. I mean, we got a million things. Yeah. First of all, Donald Trump, as soon as the announcement came out this morning, you knew they were already ready. Cut number 1, Flounder. Donald Trump already had an ad ready to go.
What could be weirder than signing a bill into law that requires schools to stock tampons in boys' bathrooms? Or weirder than signing legislation allowing minors to receive sex change operations? Try electing the man who signed those bills Vice President of the United States. Enter Chief Weirdo Tim Walz. As governor of Minnesota, Walz supported legislation that endangers minors, hurts women, and puts radical ideology ahead of common sense. Now Kamala wants Walz to enforce those laws on a national scale. Tim Walz. Too weird, too radical.
Yeah, he already had it ready to go. And Flounder, how about cut number 3? This is J.D. Vance. He was, we caught him we didn't catch him. The reporters caught him as he was ready to leave for a campaign deal. This is J.D. Vance talking about his initial reaction to the choice of the Minnesota governor as VP candidate.
This is a guy who's proposed shipping more manufacturing jobs to China, who wants to make the American people more reliant on garbage energy instead of good American energy, and has proposed defunding the police just as Kamala Harris does. I think it's interesting, actually. They make an interesting tag team because, of course, Tim Walz allowed rioters to burn down Minneapolis in the summer of 2020, and then the few who got caught, Kamala Harris helped bail them out of jail. So it is more instructive for what it says about Kamala Harris, that she doesn't care about the border, she doesn't care about crime, she doesn't care about American energy, and most importantly, she doesn't care about the Americans who have been made to suffer under those policies.
And in fact, speaking of those protests, the fact of the matter is he was offered National Guard, or he was told basically to get the National Guard out. He waited 3 days. 3 days because he didn't want the National Guard to stop what was going on so he could honor George Floyd.
Yeah, the Minneapolis mayor, who's a liberal, begged him for the Guard.
3 days. And finally, he relented just from the pressure. But again, this is what they do. Cut number 8, Flounder, we have Van Jones at CNN, who once in a while has something interesting to say from a liberal standpoint. He used to work for Puttitat, one of his key advisors for Barack Hussein Puttitat. Here's Van Jones reacting to the VP pick on CNN today, sir. Number 8.
Hold on, sit tight. Let me get it here real quick.
No problem. Take your time. We're good. I could do some more history things if you want to.
No, God, no. I'll have it here.
Well, I got some birthdays right here if you wanted me to,
Here we go.
I got birthday
the
today.
Conservatives, the right wing, the Republicans, they were chewing their fingernails down to the knuckle because they were afraid of a Josh Shapiro. They were afraid of a Mark Kelly. They're not as afraid of this new governor because they think they can define him.
Yeah.
So here's the challenge you've got in this party. And people don't want to talk about it. We got to talk about it. On the one hand, you have a lot of young people who are concerned about Gaza. You have a lot of Muslims and Arabs and others. They have not felt seen by the Biden administration. You start hearing that genocide joke. That was building. And so those folks needed to have a candidate that they could feel comfortable with. This helps them in that regard. But you also have anti-Semitism that has gotten marbled into this party. You can be for the Palestinians without being an anti-Jewish bigot, but there are some anti-Jewish bigots out there. And there's some disquiet now, and there has to be. How much of what just happened is caving into some of these darker parts in the party? So that's going to have to get worked out. It's going to have to get talked through.
The darker parts of the party. I mean, even Van Jones he basically said there's at least a third of these Democrats who would have revolted if they'd picked a Jewish guy.
That's 2 major Democrats in a week turning against their own party. Fetterman and him.
Yep. And who's the guy? The political commentator used to be one of Puttitat's guys. He wears glasses and he's on all the time. Axelrod. And he's been saying, hey, people,
he says it's Trump's to lose.
Yeah. He said you people, and I don't know what his reaction. I haven't seen any reaction.
Carville's been complaining.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Where's he? Where's Carville in this?
I can't. He's trying to figure out how to do that, what to say, but he didn't hold back. Well, I don't know why he's not on right now. Maybe does he do a podcast every week? Or I don't know what he does.
I don't think he knows what a podcast is.
Well, I think he's on people's podcasts.
Yeah, but again, you'd think. I'll bet you later on today or tonight or something. By tomorrow, I'll bet you Carville's got something to say, and I'll bet you we're going to like listening to it. We got more soundbites coming up too on Vice President Jew hater, the current Vice President Jew hater, and also that slimy little just sleaze bucket of pus, Jamie Raskin.
A coup.
Already ready to talk about another coup in January 2025.
Openly talking about
it. Coming up in a second. A couple things about this guy, Walz, the governor of Minnesota. He was a teacher, former football coach. He got caught, Pete mentioned, drunk driving, doing 96 and a 55. He claimed he was not drunk. There was a misunderstanding that he was deaf. And then his campaign said, well, thank God he had to surgically correct it, so he's okay now. And the trooper said, he was freaking drunk, man. He failed both the preliminary breath test and everything else. He was taken away for a blood test. The killing of George Floyd, he did nothing to stop the rioting. We mentioned for 3 days he didn't do squat. He was supporting the riots. And Carmela was issuing the money for helping to raise money for the rioters to get out of jail.
She's lying about it.
Okay, my first thought just a moment ago was to say those two things alone. The guy encouraged riots in his state that ruined businesses and burned down
black businesses.
It ruined his economy, ruined his state. Some of the people never got over it. They lost everything and couldn't work. Okay, one. And then she helped the bad guys get away with it. Okay, those two things alone, just your average basic American. How is it anybody who just, works in a factory or sells shoes or, his wife works for an insurance company or whatever, they get together. How could any American family say, gee, I'd really like those two people to lead me? I mean, seriously. And then as soon as I said that in my head 2 minutes ago, I said to myself, they don't care.
They won't hear it.
Democrats don't give a crap.
No, they don't give a crap.
They literally don't care.
No.
They're okay with it.
Yeah.
They were okay with it then, and they were hoping that would be the example to keep Donald Trump from doing anything because he would react so badly they could keep him out from running of office again. So, I mean, it's all part of their plan. But again, the vicious, hate-filled duplicity of the whole scheme.
Well, it's one thing if you want to bail out the looters, if you think they had a just cause in looting and you want to bail them out. But we've got her tweet putting the thing there out there where you can call the number and you can donate to it. And she's still lying that she didn't do it.
Yeah, she led the effort, for God's sake. Because it was important at the time, and so she jumped on board. That's what she's a chameleon who said, "Oh, this is a passing train. I want to get on board."
Yeah, she did the same thing with Jussie Smollett.
Modern day lynching. Remember those words? She said it was a modern day lynching. And by the way, I believe that post is still up. Oh, she hasn't tried to deny it. Oh my God. Defund the police in Minnesota after the Floyd murder. This was what the governor did. Just one thing after another. All right, 3:46 already. Holy cow. And coming up, more sound. You'll hear, oh God, you'll hear stuff to make fun of with the Kipper, Pete, and Flounder. Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's a camera. How's it going? Here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
The left manages to manipulate language, using words, using phrases seemingly innocuous, but that slowly over time create a specific mindset for you, a mindset that aids the left.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Feeling the heat, Atlanta? Don't let it get you down. Stay cool with Carrier products from Central Heating and Air Conditioning. Their Carrier systems are designed to help keep you comfortable even during the hottest days. With advanced cooling technology, you'll enjoy a refreshing home no matter how high the temperature rises. And right now, you can save up to $2,000 on a new Carrier system. That's right, up to $2,000 off to ensure you stay cool all summer long. Plus, their Carrier systems come with excellent warranties for added peace of mind. At Central Heating and Air Conditioning, they pride themselves on better service through knowledge. And right now, you can save up to $2,000 on a new Carrier system. That's right, up to $2,000 off to ensure you stay cool all summer long. Turn to Atlanta's Carrier experts. Call 770-GET-HEAT or visit centralheat.com today.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
So, Robert, I want to thank you for your time. I just don't think you're the right person for this position.
I don't understand. Was it something I said?
Well, we did a background check on you and found some things of concern.
If you're in charge of hiring for your company, you know how helpful a background screening can be. That's why companies that use Horizon background screening make smarter hiring decisions. Don't let the wrong hire put your company at risk. Get the real story on your candidates at horizonscreening.com. Horizonscreening.com.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. We handle bonds throughout Metro Atlanta, including from our newest offices in Cherokee County and Clayton County. In most cases, we can have you or your loved one out of jail in a matter of hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT or online at atlbail.com.
MyPillow is bringing you their most requested offer
on their premium MyPillows. For a limited time, a queen-size premium MyPillow is now only $19.98 with a promo code BECK. MyPillow has always listened to their audience. One of the reasons they've been so successful. MyPillow is made with a patented adjustable fill to accommodate individual sleeping needs no matter your sleep position. The pillow keeps your neck aligned while keeping its best shape all night long. Their goal is to give you the best sleep of your life. And you'll find the deals on some of their other most loved products. For instance, their 6-piece bath towel sets are only $25, or their brand new mattress topper for as low as $69.98. And the best sheets you've heard me rave about before are as low as $25. So go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener special square for huge discounts on MyPillow products, including the premium queen-size MyPillow for $19.98. Remember, enter the promo code BECK. Call 800-966-3117 for these amazing limited time offers at MyPillow.com.
I'm Rick James, bitch. That's right. Here we go. Stand by.
She's a very kinky girl.
Kinky.
The kind you don't take
Dave Chappelle, just the best. Rick James goofing around. Rick James, 2004, was found dead in his L.A. home on this day, 20 years ago today, known as the King of Punk Funk. Rick James, 1981 album, number 3, Street Songs, and 81 U.S. number 16 single, Super Freak, Part 1. Big hits in the 60s. Rick James worked as a songwriter and producer for Motown. Worked with Smokey Robinson and the Miracles. He was also addicted to cocaine and once admitted to spending $7,000 a week on drugs for 5 years. Wow. Rick James, dead on this day 20 years ago.
That's a healthy habit right there.
That's not good for you. It's healthy. $7,000 a week for 5 years? I mean, shook. That's a lot of cocaine in your system.
It's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. It was $300,000, $1.5 million, basically, or something like that. Anyway, our birthday list includes Michelle Yeoh is 62. Philip, hold on, I got freaking eye. I got to go to the doctor. Philippa George Yeoh, I think it is, on Star Trek Discovery.
Oh, you've been doing some Asian names.
Oh,
so
cool. I like it.
Some Ting Wong.
Some young boy. Or Michelle Yeoh, 62.
Al Beng Wow.
Philippa Zhao Ju on the Star Trek Discovery there. Fallen Starfleet captain and now her mirror self is a member of Section 31. I don't know what that means. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon movies, and the third Mummy movie, The Mummy Tomb of the Dragons. Crouching Tiger, that little chick who played the one that finally was fighting the guy and then they finally started kissing and then they're lovers. Oh, man, that young one. Yowie, gowie, mowie. Anyway, crouching. And our history list today there. Let's find one here. Good. This is kind of bizarre. 1916, World War I. No more Army watermelons. Soldiers training for war at El Paso were spending too much time swatting flies in 1916 because of the watermelons. The rinds were impossible to burn, and over 50 trillion flies took over. They couldn't get rid of the damn rinds of the watermelons, and it was so bad the medics were afraid they were all going to get diseases because they had nothing but flies everywhere. 1916. Of course, back then, you didn't mess around with yellow fever and stuff like that. Anyway, 3:53. Come on, Pete and Flounder. How's it going? Okay, here we go. Let's soundbite number 6 coming up here, Flounder. And right after that, we will do soundbite number 5. But first of all, Carmela's side piece in 2017 was at an annual coding conference alongside a philanthropist, and the widow of Steve Jobs is who she was during a conference. And they were talking about immigration, environment, and so forth. And she spoke out about Donald Trump's drug policy. Again, this 2017, Donald Trump president. And among other things, cut number 6, here's what she said. Right here. What she said.
We have to stay woke. Like, everybody needs to be woke. and you can talk about if you're the wokest or woker, but just stay more woke than less woke. Yeah.
Okay, first of all, why the laughter? I mean, everything she does, there's no I wish I'd saved that story. A psychologist said this is the thing. These are people who have trouble formulating thoughts, and they're afraid that they're going to misrepresent. I mean, they're not solid people with good thinking brains.
Right.
I mean, she does this because, I mean, whose normal reaction is to talk about a serious issue of immigration and everything else that she wants to make a point that we have to be concerned about all people, and she just laughs through the whole thing. I mean, it's offensive. It's just stupid. She looks like an idiot.
Like a diddy bop, like a California Valley girl.
It's exactly, I mean, I don't understand it. And this has been her whole life she's done this. And again, it's to try to, I guess, disarm your...
She's
you're
nervous. She's not confident.
Yeah, I mean, she's not...
Or she's drunk.
Or she's drunk. And now, and by the way, and well, here's another thing. Cut number 5, Flounder. This is Carmela when she was Attorney General of California, bragging about her power to do what she wanted.
You know, the power I have as a prosecutor is that with a swipe of my pen, I can charge someone with a misdemeanor, the lowest level offense possible. And by virtue of that swipe of my pen, you will have to go to a courthouse and stand in line. You will have to come out of pocket and hire an attorney. You may get arrested for a few hours. You will be embarrassed in your community. You will miss time from coming onto the Google campus. All because with the swipe of my pen, I've charged you with a crime, which I may choose to dismiss 2 weeks later. It's an incredible amount of power.
Boy, I bet her nipples were hard as a rock right then, huh? Mine are right now. Good Lord. Oh. I mean, see what I mean?
I could hang art.
Well, your hat hanging there. Don't stand up. 3:55. Now, seriously, this is the whole. Everything about this woman is offensive. I mean, it's just how could? I mean, again, the party nailed themselves into this when Stupid Face said, I want a black woman. I'm definitely going to get a woman, and I'd like to get a black woman to run. And they picked her, who had never received a single vote and still hasn't received a single vote.
Someone made a good point that this guy Walz is a DEI hire because they had to get a white guy.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they couldn't get, and yeah, specifically couldn't be Jewish, and he couldn't be black, and he couldn't be a girl, so they had to pick a white male who was. I mean, that's exactly what they did. They go by category. I mean, it's all demographics.
It's tribes.
It's exactly
they break us into tribes.
And by the way, this is hysterical in a very bad way. Jamie Raskin, this slimy little greaseball spit spot. He was the guy that Nancy Pelosi, who's going to hell when she dies, picked to run the so-called January 6th committee last time, where they complete joke. And by the way, they all should be in jail for destroying the records. Mm-hmm. They destroyed all the records of their lies and collusion. Anyway, Jamie Raskin's been preparing a bill that would also abuse the 14th Amendment again to block Donald Trump from what he did last time. Raskin's a former member of the January 6th committee, said he's already crafting a new bill, working on it right now, with Debbie Wasserman Schultz of Florida, the Democrat skank, with a pathway for the Justice Department to sue Donald Trump to keep him off the ballot. And he says, in light of the Supreme Court decision recently, we're going to revise it. They're going to be paired with a resolution declaring that January 6th was an insurrection and those involved engaged in insurrection. Therefore, if those words are passed, it will likely be it will allow the Congress or the courts or the Justice Department to keep Donald Trump off the ballot. Anyway, here's Jamie Raskin talking about this collusion already for next January 6th. He's already planning for next January 6th when Trump wins the election. Theoretically.
Again, it's necessary, but it's not sufficient because what can be put into the Constitution can slip away from you very quickly. And the greatest example going on right now before our very eyes is Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which they're just disappearing with a magic wand, as if it doesn't exist, even though it could not be clearer what it's stating. And so, they want to kick it to Congress, so it's going to be up to us on January 6, 2025 to tell the rampaging Trump mobs that he's disqualified. And then we need bodyguards for everybody in Civil War conditions, all because the 9 justices, not all of them, but these justices who have not many cases to look at every year, not that much work to do, a huge staff, great protection, simply do not want to do their job and interpret what the great 14th Amendment means. And I'm glad that Sherilyn's creating her new center so we can bring that.
Yeah, already in the plans. There will be troops in the streets as Carmela takes her oath of office to stop the public from interfering, while anyone who protests gets gulagged. Someone will have to tell the rampaging mob the election results have been overturned to fortify democracy right after the Democrat nominee was ousted to fortify democracy. Before Dems criminalized election denial, they specialized in it. This is the guy making a great point here. If Representative Raskin is serious, then their endgame strategy is to hope to take Congress and then reject the results of the 2024 election while using any protest in response for them to be able to declare martial law and impose Carmela at gunpoint.
Yeah.
This, of course, is everything they falsely accused Trump of doing in 2020. And if you know the leftists, he writes, you know that it means they are getting ready to do it themselves. The plans are in. You just heard them.
The only difference between January 6th now and then is before they were outside of Congress trying to get in. These rats are already inside Congress doing it.
And they're already planning. You just heard them. It's not a conspiracy. You
just said it.
We're listening. 4 o'clock, Kevin, Pete, and Flounder. Jeez, we hear you.
I can see you.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Atlanta Safe House.
A plot to kill U.S. politicians foiled. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. A Pakistani man with ties to Iran charged in a failed plot to carry out a political assassination in the U.S.
Federal prosecutors in New York City charging Asif Raza Merchant with murder for hire, saying the 46-year-old Pakistani national traveled to the U.S. after visiting Iran, attempting to organize a plot to assassinate a U.S. politician or government official.
Based on DOJ's ongoing investigation, there has been no evidence to suggest that the individual named in today's indictment has any connection to the assassination attempt against former President Trump that happened in Butler, Pennsylvania.
White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre explaining the administration has invested extraordinary resources to address these threats. The DOJ says Merchant was arrested trying to leave the U.S. on July 12th after paying undercover officers he thought were hitmen to take part in the scheme.
Fox's Kristen Goodwin. Vice President Harris set to hold a rally later this evening with her choice for running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz.
Based on all the initial stories coming out, Harris chose Walz over Josh Shapiro because she gets along with him better. But to the best of our knowledge, Harris and Walz don't really know each other all that well. He is going to arrive in Pennsylvania separately, and then the two of them do plan to hit as many battlegrounds as they can, working around Tropical Storm Debbie. We know that President Biden talked to Harris about this decision.
Fox's Peter Ducey in Philadelphia. Republican vice presidential nominee J.D. Vance also in Philadelphia today, reacting to the choice.
I absolutely want to debate Tim Walz, but I want to debate him actually after he's actually officially the nominee. And I did call him and congratulate him and offered him my best wishes. I think that's the polite thing to do. But look, would it shock me if the Democrats pulled another switcheroo? No, it wouldn't.
But Vance also said Vice President Harris is bending to what he called the far left of his party by choosing Walz. Wall Street making up some of yesterday's losses. The Dow up about 300 points. America is listening to Fox News.
Well, summer's here and the weather is beautiful. Everyone has a favorite outdoor activity: golf, bike riding, bird watching, long walks. Ask 100 people, you'll get 100 answers. But if everyday aches and pains are keeping you on the sidelines, I have one answer: Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a 100% drug-free daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients. It doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it. Wherever you're hurting, back, neck, joints, or muscles, in 3 weeks or less, you'll start to feel the difference all day, every day. So whatever you like to do, swimming, pickleball, hanging out in the garden, Relief Factor can help you feel good again and let you enjoy all your favorite outdoor activities all summer long. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF and save on your first order. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Fight pain naturally with Relief Factor.
And now this dramatic pause. Whatever, to freeze on you? Poor Flounder. Is he even in there? I can't see it. Is he? Oh, yeah, I thought some movement. Here we go. It must be the heat.
He's working feverishly.
No, I was just on the other side of the studio.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Human error.
So it was human error.
We got to get you a little stewardess or something in there. Honest to God. Don't tell Veronica. We'll get a guy. We'll get a guy.
No,
we want a sweetie. No, we want a little cutie.
All we get is guys.
Yeah, I know.
They're good guys, but still.
Kimber, Pete, and Flounder, how you doing? 404. Here's the number, 404-741-1230. And this is the Grateful Dead. And on this day in 1999, Dick Latvala died. Age 56. He was in a coma caused by a heart attack. Is it Latvala? I don't even know. Grateful Dead had worked with the Grateful Dead since the early 80s. This was 99 we're talking he died. He was looking after their archives of live performances, which became a series of Dick's Picks albums. 99.
So he would he was a deadhead, and
historian guy.
And he would pick the live shows that would be released.
I'll bet my daughter Jennifer knew him. When she was a heroin cocaine addict, she was a deadhead for a while. She would travel around until they put her in jail a couple of times. Anyway, birthday list includes Vera Farmiga. I'm not sure how you pronounce it.
Good-looking woman.
Good. A very handsome woman, I would call her. A very handsome woman. She's 51. Vera was Lorraine in Conjuring movies and Norma Bates, and she was also in that movie Up in the Air with George Clooney.
Just give it the old rhino pronunciation.
What's that?
Like he did this morning on the show. He said indigent houses.
The indigents.
The indigent houses.
You don't want to offend the indigents.
It's right under Latvia. Indigent.
Hey, listen, the Say Hey Kid's got a lot going on in the morning.
He does.
So
he's got a rumble thing going, too.
He's got stuff. I don't know what he's got going.
You see, he's got glasses and a tie, and he's dressed up, and he's looking sideways at the camera. He's trying to look like he's impressive.
Well, he's got this new hot girlfriend all of a sudden, so he's got, he's got a... I get cheese guy. I'll bet she ties him. Anyway, it's 405 on this day in. No, everything's fine. Let's see. On this day in history, I got a triple whammy here. On this day in history, here comes Little Boy, and he's open for business. Yes, on this day in 1945, an atomic bomb containing more power than 12,000 tons of TNT, producing more than 2,000 times the blast of the most powerful bomb ever dropped anywhere. That atomic bomb first time dropped on the city of Hiroshima if you like, killing an estimated 140,000 people right there. First use of a nuclear weapon in warfare. The bomb, nicknamed Little Boy, had 130 pounds of uranium-235, produced the equivalent of about 13 kilotons of TNT. That was on this day in 1945. On August 9th, a few days from now, America dropped. The Japanese said, "Oh yeah, that's all you got? Ha ha! White eyes, bring it on, baby. That's all you got." Ha da da da. Uh-oh.
Did you say round eyes?
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, America dropped bomb number 2 on Nagasaki, and that was pretty much the ball game. By the way, on the first bomb was the first time the atom bomb had ever been dropped on a populated area, obviously, and the first time it was used in warfare. The Enola Gay co-pilot Robert Lewis wrote in his log book in the plane that day, quote, "My God, what have we done?" Well, you've ended the war. That's what you've done. And again, it was going to happen somewhere.
Saved millions of people's lives, Japanese too.
No question about it. No, and again, what a horrible thing to have to even think about. But the fact that, okay, this is why wars are bad. The only reason to have war is to kill more people on the other side so that they give up. And again, the reason Vietnam lasted like that and did what it did, because Ho Chi Minh literally said, it's in their museum, we have more people to lose than they do. I mean, he said, Americans will never stand for the loss of all those lives. We don't give a damn. We got millions of these guys. Just send them down the Ho Chi Minh Trail. Just send them. And he very clearly said, it's Jane Fonda and the Swiftboat guy, John Kerry, are quoted also, admitting, he said, we have way more people to die than you do. America will never stand for that kind of thing. And he was right. And that's why they won. They won the Vietnam War. Let's see, almost 408. Holy cow. Okay, if you just joined us, Carmela's side piece, the vice president made it very clear, no Jews, and she picked the non-Jew, the guy from Minnesota. And incidentally, I was reading some of the stuff on him. Something like 70 or 80, hell more than that, like 90% of America has never heard of him. And they don't know what he stands for. Well, they're going to find out. And again, when you start looking at his record, holy cow. And again, Flounder, what the heck? Let's play cut number This is the governor, Tim Walz, just picked to be vice president with Carmela. This is what he believes about America.
But we can get out there, reach out, make the case. And for one thing, don't ever shy away from our progressive values. One person's socialism is another person's neighborliness.
One person's socialism is another person's neighborliness. I mean, they believe this.
He's admitted he's a socialist.
Yeah. And by the way, Carmela's father, let's not forget that, was a history professor of Marxism. He was a Marxist professor of Marxism. I mean, he was a Marxist.
Yeah.
And the Dominican was raised in a Marxist family.
And if they admit they're socialists, you know damn well they're Marxists.
Yeah, that by definition. And again, her business about, we talked about it the other day, the famous phrase she uses, don't be burdened by the past to unburden you for the future. Or something. Yeah, those are right out of Mao Zedong and Stalin or something.
When he launched the Cultural Revolution, which killed 20 million people, it was all about forgetting everything you'd learned before.
Yeah. Yeah. And by the way, speaking of this guy, Walz, Flounder, let's do cut number 7. This is how this governor from Minnesota feels about states who tend to vote conservative, if you will, sir.
You know, you see those maps, red and blue, and there's all that red across there, and Democrats go into depression over it. It's mostly rocks and cows that are in that red area.
You know what we got to do? We got to get T-shirts or just dress up as rocks or just moo around him. Show up when he shows up somewhere. Go,
dress up as cows with rocks on their heads or something. Or cows carrying rocks.
Carrying rocks. I mean, seriously. Okay, farmhouseprintingco.com has got to get on this. A T-shirt of cow holding a rock.
Or peeing on a rock. Even better. A cow peeing on a flat rock. Oh, my God.
All right, there's the T-shirt.
There it is. There you are. Now done.
We patented it.
Here it is. Like 3/4 of Americans have no opinion about him because they've never heard of him.
No one's heard of this guy. He's the whitest guy in the world, too.
He's been credited, has said, the first one to make a big deal about calling Republicans weird. But again, as Pete mentioned earlier, this guy from Kentucky, Blankenshire, whatever his name is, also was credited with being the first one to say weird. But since he didn't get the knob as vice president, now all the Democrats are saying, no, we'll give it to we'll say he's the one who started calling people weird. As though that makes a difference. And as though, therefore, some claim to fame. Therefore, that's good for the party because he's the one who started saying weird for Republicans.
This guy's got a tranny freak as his closest advisor, and this is the guy who talked him into putting the tampon dispensaries in the men's and boys' bathrooms.
Yep, that's right. That's right. 411.
And we're weird.
Yeah. Look at these people. I mean, look at who they choose to represent them and to be part of their administrations. The picture of this guy girl with a blonde, was it a wig or is just hair growing? It's as bad as that Pennsylvania guy who's now the Undersecretary of Health and Education or Health and whatever. What's his name? The girl. Oh God,
they are mentally ill people
wearing an admiral's uniform and a dress. With his, what's his name? Oh God, I don't remember his name. I know his name, and I don't want to say it. And one more quick thing about this. Again, this is if you're a veteran, you ought to know about this too. The people who worked with this guy Tim Walz in his Minnesota National Guard have said he slithered away from his responsibility and ditched his responsibilities as the unit was getting ready to go to war in Iraq, and that's when he quit. He had taken a couple of special courses, Army Sergeant Major's Academy, which is like a college course, and it means that you are promoted. He was in support of Operation Enduring Freedom in Italy, helping the people in Italy get ready to go to Iraq. He came back to Minnesota. They found out his unit was going to go to Iraq, and so he quit. And they're saying that because he quit his special designation, he was therefore busted down in rank. But he kind of his stolen valor indicates that he kept that rank going, and he's been bragging about his superior rank when he was running for Congress, even though that wasn't really true. He failed to serve 2 years that he was supposed to after the academy. He dropped out, failed to serve 2 years after he got promoted to the Sergeant Major command, failed to fulfill 6 years of enlistment. He signed down in 2001, and he failed his country. They say he failed his state. He failed Minnesota. He failed the battalion. He failed his fellow soldiers and failed to lead by example.
But the Democrats will say we shouldn't have been in Iraq in the first place. It was a stupid war, and good for him for not going.
That's right.
He's a hero to them.
Yep. The problem is everything we point out is only going to cement the fact that people who vote conservative are, just say I told you so. But again, I don't think any Democrat gives a damn about any of this.
Mm-hmm.
I'll bet there are Democrats right now, including Jewish voters. I'll bet you. I'd like to hear one Jewish voter say, I really like the fact that he puts Tampax in the boys' restroom just in case the boy starts bleeding when he's getting his period out of his testicles or something. It could happen. And I'll guarantee you the Jewish voters are saying, that's a good idea because we want our little boys to be able to have Tampax in case they start bleeding in school. Really? You like that? That's good with you, okay? That's fine with you? This is not a sign of what's going on in America?
A governor signed that and said, I agree with that.
That's a
we
great
need
idea.
those in the bathroom.
You can't get too many of those. Tampax, Kotex, there are
it's
a lot
a
of
mental illness.
Yeah. And from the leadership. This isn't some kid complaining. This is the governor.
They're enabling all these mentally ill freaks.
They like it. 414, man. We're just getting started. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. What do you think? 404-741-1230. Look out.
It's time for the Bortz Report, brought to you by Southern Exteriors, the Southeast premier home exterior solution. Quality and precision you can rely on for over 20 years. Visit southernexteriors.co.
Potpourri, a couple of random thoughts for today, some of them Olympic related. Everything I know about the Olympics I saw on the news. I didn't watch anything, not after that Last Supper insult, but a record number of Olympians are, get ready for it, LGBTQW. The W is whatever. That's a pretty surprising fact, considering they don't have figure skating in the Summer Olympics. Simone Biles, nothing but admiration for her, but nobody's perfect. She was receiving a medal yesterday, and, point of interest, all three people, gold, silver, bronze, on the podium were black. And Simone Biles had to point out her delight at having, quote, an all-black podium, unquote. Hey, that's fine. If she wants to be proud of that, be proud of that. However, what if some white athlete with a white bronze medal winner and a white silver medal winner said, wow, we have an all-white podium? Well, you know what would happen. I do too. No sense in going any further with that. Donald Trump has decided that as part of his presidential campaign, he's going to save TikTok. Well, that's wonderful. An app revered by brainless teenagers, owned and operated by the Communist Chinese, used to instigate anti-Israeli feelings among the teenagers. Where do you think that came from? And Trump is going to save it. He's after the youth vote. No. He's after the useful idiot vote. And speaking of the Olympics, I tried very hard in the early 60s to qualify for the Olympics in swimming, more particularly 200 meters. In a California high school, at that distance, I never lost a race. But I didn't get close to the Olympics. And I never could have succeeded at pole vaulting. If you must know why, read about Anthony Ammirati. Neil Bortz, XTRA 106.3.
When storms wreak havoc on your home, who do you trust to make things right? Look no further than Southern Exteriors. Hey, it's Tug. With over 25 years experience, they understand the urgency of storm damage. They offer emergency response and free estimates to assess the situation and get your home back on track. Southern Exteriors is committed to your home's long-term well-being. Whether it's roofing, siding, gutters, windows, or doors, they have the expertise to handle it all. Call 877-9-SOUTHERN or visit southernexteriors.co. southernexteriors.co. Southern Exteriors, restoring peace of mind one storm at a time.
School may be back in, but the Braves have tons of giveaways and huge matchups this month, like when the Philadelphia Phillies and Washington Nationals come to Truist Park, August 20th through the 25th. The Phillies series begins with a Chick-fil-A cow bobblehead giveaway on the 20th, followed by the Ozzie Albies and his dog Poochie bobblehead giveaway on the 21st, presented by Bear Ringer Ingelheim.
Olsen uncorks one to deep right center field, flying to the wall and kiss it goodbye. Home run by Matt Olsen, into the Braves bullpen.
And then get ready for Alumni Weekend, presented by your local Ford dealer August 23rd through the 25th. The weekend includes the Braves Legends Parade through the Battery and the Alumni Roll Call on the field on Friday, followed by autograph sessions with your favorite former Braves and the always competitive Home Run Derby competition on Saturday. Don't miss the fun this August. Find all the details and get your tickets at Braves.com/promos. Atlanta Braves Baseball. We are Braves Country.
Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's for Howard Brothers and Echo. Hey, folks, have you heard? It's almost time for the Echo one-day sale at Howard Brothers. On September 11th, visit your local Howard Brothers for fantastic deals on Echo power equipment, chainsaws, blowers, trimmers, and more. Whether you're a professional or a DIY enthusiast, Howard Brothers has the Echo tools you need to get the job done right. So mark your calendar, bring your friends, and don't miss out on the Echo one-day sale at Howard Brothers on September 11th. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Echo and Howard Brothers.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Feeling the heat, Atlanta? Don't let it get you down. Stay cool with Carrier products from Central Heating and Air Conditioning. Their Carrier systems are designed to help keep you comfortable even during the hottest days. With advanced cooling technology, you'll enjoy a refreshing home no matter how high the temperature rises. And right now, you can save up to $2,000 on a new Carrier system. That's right, up to $2,000 off to ensure you stay cool all summer long. Plus, their Carrier systems come with excellent warranties for added peace of mind. At Central Heating and Air Conditioning, they pride themselves on better service through knowledge. And right now, you can save up to $2,000 on a new Carrier system. That's right, up to $2,000 off to ensure you stay cool all summer long. Turn to Atlanta's Carrier experts. Call 770-GET-HEAT or visit centralheat.com today.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
All right, I got it. 420. I call drinking. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder with you too. And you too. All of us.
Desert sky.
1989, Adam Clayton of U2 was arrested in the Blue Light Inn car park in Dublin for possessing marijuana. His intent was to supply the drug to somebody else. However, they waived his conviction in exchange for him paying £25,000 to the Women's AIDS Center. Adam Clayton, U2, 1989. All right.
You see, when you're rich and have money, all you have to do is donate to a charity,
There
and
you
you're
go.
not in trouble anymore.
Let me help those ladies.
Keith Richards, ladies and gentlemen, in Toronto.
He should be in prison for life.
Oh, my God.
Oh, come on.
No.
I mean,
let him get away
technically,
with it.
for the amount of heroin that he was caught with,
that's
he
true.
should be in jail for life.
He's could have been.
All the stuff they eat and drink in
distributor.
Canada. Come on. A little heroin.
Our birthday list includes Salil Moon Fry, 48, Punky Brewster.
Yeah.
She grew up to play Roxy on Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and she's now 48 and a handsome
40.
woman.
Punky Brewster is 48?
Brewster is 48 years old.
Damn.
That's why I do these birthdays, because once in a while somebody says, oh, my God. And that's why I do it, to try to please the little people. On this day in history, this was huge. 1965. I'm kind of surprised Flounder doesn't have all 10 of them. The Beatles released the soundtracked album Help, their fifth album with great tracks on the first side. Help, The Night Before, You've Got to Hide Your Love Away. I always like that song, too. I Need You, Another Girl, You're Gonna Lose That Girl. Always like that one, too. And Ticket to Ride. Side 2, Act Naturally, It's Only Love, You Like Me Too Much, Tell Me What You See, I've Just Seen a Face, Dizzy Miss Lizzie, and Yesterday.
So they basically overloaded the first half of the album.
No, again, I'd never heard I've heard of one of the songs on
if
the side.
If they played
too.
them, you'd probably...
I guess.
Act Naturally was Ringo's
I remember that
Buck
one.
Owens
Ringo's
song or whatever.
Yeah, that's true. It's 4:22, 4 o'clock hour, brought to you by our good friends Atlanta Safe House, home of the Gimmer Safes. You need a safe. You may not know it, but take it from me. You do. Keep your stuff safe, silly. Learn more at Atlanta. They have a showroom in Ackworth and more at AtlantaSafeHouse.com. 4:22. Well, she picked the guy from Minnesota, the governor of Minnesota. And again, we'll be talking about his record all afternoon, and still more to come. This guy, the only reason this happened is because they were afraid of picking a Jewish guy. There's no other possible explanation. And I guarantee you it was Nancy Pelosi who's going to go to hell when she dies, suspected child molester Chuck Schumer, and Barack Hussein Puttitat, who made the decision and said, this is what you're going to do. And this only. And again, why? How could they pick a guy whose issues, if we just name his issues, Tampax in the boys' room, defunding the police, letting the rioters out on bail. I mean, one after open borders. I mean, everything that America doesn't stand for, that's his stuff. How could they pick him?
In fact, one calls people to die.
Thank you.
That's production value right there.
Yeah, we're talking, ladies and gentlemen. Because we got reaction, we got beats, we got tweets, we got Pete's tweets.
A.K. Kamara tweets, never forget that Tim Walz was one of the Democrat governors who intentionally discharged COVID patients into long-term care facilities, a.k.a. nursing homes, like Cuomo did up in New York. 81% of all Minnesota COVID deaths happened in nursing homes at one point.
Which is where he put them. Which is where they're going to be exposed to more COVID.
And they ran Cuomo out of office for doing it and lying about it.
That's right.
Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton tweets, let's be clear. Kamala did not cave to the anti-Semitic pro-Hamas wing of the Democrat Party. She belongs to the pro-Hamas anti-Semitic wing of the Democrat Party.
Good point, yeah.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis tweets, Harris-Walz is the most left-wing ticket in American history. Minnesota was ground zero for the BLM riots of 2020. Harris egged it on, and Walz sat by and let Minneapolis burn.
That's right.
In fact, they should get the Nero thing out, and that should be a meme of him.
They showed before and after pictures of the police station.
Yeah.
And the rioters burned down the police station, and they showed after. Again, he let the city burn deliberately. The businesses took
4
them 3 days, 3 to 4 days to call out the National Guard.
Machine Gun Kelly tweets, question for you MAGAs. After you deport all the undocumented workers, how do you plan on eating? To which Adam replied, question for the abolitionists. After you free all the slaves, how do you plan on picking cotton? We'll find some way to eat.
Yeah, okay. We'll figure it out. Thank you.
And Juanita Broderick tweets, if your country can afford to give your money away to other countries, then you pay too much taxes.
Yeah. Especially when you give it away and you don't know where it went, like in Ukraine.
Well, I gave $200 million to the Taliban.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah. That was a mistake. Oh, golly. All the billions they gave to Iran. Remember when he first came into office, he released like $7 billion or something to the Iranians.
What have they done with that money?
Golly, I don't think they did anything bad against the Jews, did they? At all?
They're importing Russian military equipment.
Well, you got to pay with somehow. So, at least America supplied somebody with their arms they needed. So, too bad it wasn't us, but, unbelievable. Anyway, 425, Donald Trump was ready for an ad. Cut number one, flounder, if you will, the president's ad against the president.
What could be weirder than signing a bill into law that requires schools to stock tampons in boys' bathrooms? Or weirder than signing legislation allowing minors to receive sex change operations? Try electing the man who signed those bills Vice President of the United States. Enter Chief Weirdo Tim Walz. As governor of Minnesota, Walz supported legislation that endangers minors, hurts women, and puts radical ideology ahead of common sense. Now Kamala wants Walz to enforce those laws on a national scale. Tim Walz, too weird, too radical.
There you go. That's an early Trump ad, and I can't wait to... Again, just the issues. If he just sticks to the issues, Tampax in the boys' room, what does that say about a man's character? What does that say about... In fact, Pete was just kind of teasing me off the air a little while ago. We're going to talk about another latest move about women saying, where are the men? And in fact, I heard Jesse Kelly last night going home, and he made a point, too. He said, all this stuff that's going on right now is because we don't have any men.
Yeah.
Men would never put up with, real men
testosterone.
In a certain time would never put up with this kind of stuff. Some father come out, whoa, wait a minute, son. You telling me that you went to school today in 7th grade and they put a Tampax machine in your restroom? I don't think so. And down you go to the freaking school and say, what the hell is this all about, Mr. Principal? What are you, nuts? And then you go to the PTA meeting and you go to the school board and say, this is bourgeois. There's a bunch of horse feathers.
Your grandfather wouldn't put up with it.
My God. No way this would happen. Where are the men?
Where are the men?
And we'll talk. I'm not only to take care of what's happening in our society. My God, this is our country. I mean, this is our culture. This is what we do. What we stand for.
They say we have like a third less testosterone than our grandparents. Yeah. What's up with that?
Well, yeah, obviously.
It's our diet. It's what they're feeding us.
And again,
the soybeans.
Men are afraid to do or say anything. And one day we're going to get into more of this. But again,
look what's happening in Britain right now. They're fed up. They're up to here with their government. They're up to here with the invading savages and barbarians. Yeah. It's almost a civil war going on over there right now. Yeah. And they managed to take our race riots and drop a little drop of religious riots on top of that. So they got both things going on right now.
Stabbing little girls at the Taylor Swift concert again.
And the government declaring war on their native population. Yeah. Can you believe it?
Basically.
Well, look around what's happening in Canada, what's going to happen here.
Yeah. Unbelievable. It's 4:28. And now let's cut number 3, Flounder, if you would. Vice presidential candidate on the Republican ticket, J.D. Vance, made a campaign appearance, also talked to some reporters on the airplane about the new vice presidential Carmela side piece ticket, if you would.
This is a guy who's proposed shipping more manufacturing jobs to China, who wants to make the American people more reliant on garbage energy instead of good American energy, and has proposed defunding the police just as Kamala Harris does. I think it's interesting, actually. They make an interesting tag team because, of course, Tim Walz allowed rioters to burn down Minneapolis in the summer of 2020, and then the few who got caught, Kamala Harris helped bail them out of jail. So it is more instructive for what it says about Kamala Harris, that she doesn't care about the border, she doesn't care about crime, she doesn't care about American energy, and most importantly, she doesn't care about the Americans who have been made to suffer under those policies.
That's J.D. Vance. And, of course, this guy, governor from Minnesota, responded to the COVID business by heavy-handed pandemic restrictions, lockdowns in your houses, mask mandates, and a hotline to report residents. Turn in your neighbors, just like they did under Fidel in Cuba. He also charged 70 people. Federal prosecutors had to charge 70 people defrauding the federal food programs under his Meals for Kids pandemic program. It was called the Feeding Our Future scandal. It was the largest pandemic aid fraud case in America. $250 million under his watch. He failed to act on warning signs. He didn't exercise authority. He was ill-prepared to respond. He wanted federal tax dollars given away by the billions of dollars because he would then be the God spreading out the money to the little people. And he got caught with a $250 million scandal, the largest COVID pandemic fraud case in America. And don't forget, he changed the state flag to Somalian flag, basically. That's stuff.
It's an ugly flag. They had a beautiful flag.
That was gorgeous, yeah. And also driver's licenses for illegal invaders. He signed the gender-affirming care bill. So if your kid goes to school and says, I want to stop being a boy and be a girl, and if your parent tries to stop it, the state will take your child. The state can take custody if you do not treat your child with the gender identity he or she chooses. My God.
One voter said he used to be a middle-of-the-road Democrat. Now he's a straight-up socialist.
That's right. And he said the word. We'll play that, too, coming up again later. Look out, 4:31 already. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Holy crap, it's sports. We got Pete Streets. We haven't done a Flounder's Funny. When we come back, next thing right off the top of Flounder's Funny. I owe you 2 of them.
What happened?
No, we're busy. We're busy. We're very busy.
What'd you do?
What'd you do? No, what did you do? I do.
The 2024 election changes by the day. So with the future of the country on the line, you need more than headlines. You need the conservative voices you can trust, which is why the Conservative Voice of Atlanta brings you the local and national voices you need most to make sense of all the noise. We bring you proud veterans, Atlanta Talk radio legends, and local perspectives that shape our communities.
It's going to be an interesting couple of months right here on XTRA 106.3.
Tax season can be stressful, but it's also a wake-up call. It's time to think beyond April and plan for your future. At Master Plan Retirement Consultants, we're not just advisors. We're your partners in building a secure retirement. At Master Plan Retirement Consultants, we understand the challenges Georgians face. That's why we offer personalized strategies to maximize your retirement income, minimize taxes, and ensure you never outlive your assets. Join the Master Plan family and let us guide you through every financial milestone. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your appointment today. Master Plan Retirement Consultants, where your journey and destination are both important. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Frickson Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
When storms wreak havoc on your home, who do you trust to make things right? Look no further than Southern Exteriors. Hey, it's Tug. With over 25 years experience, they understand the urgency of storm damage. They offer emergency response and free estimates to assess the situation and get your home back on track. Southern Exteriors is committed to your home's long-term well-being. Whether it's roofing, siding, gutters, windows, or doors, they have the expertise to handle it all. Call 877-9-SOUTHERN or visit southernexteriors.co. southernexteriors.co. Southern Exteriors, restoring peace of mind one storm at a time.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
As an official community partner of the Atlanta Braves and the Atlanta Braves Foundation, the Warrior Alliance connects warriors and their families to free services such as health and wellness, housing, employment, education, legal services, and so much more. We need your financial support to increase our impact and change thousands of lives for those who served in the U.S. Armed Forces. It takes more than just thank you for your service. Make a donation to help warriors navigate to success after service. Go to thewarrioralliance.org/donate and make a difference today.
My name is Amy Risley. I have been working for Bruce Hagen for 17 years. When I first started, my boys were 4 and 6, and whenever I needed, Bruce allowed me to bring them to our office. Bruce has always treated us like family, and 17 years later, I still love coming to work for Bruce Hagen. Just recently, a friend told me they hear Bruce talking on 680 The Fan. They asked me if he was as nice as he appeared to be on air. I smiled, and without any hesitation, answered, he's even nicer in person. I'm Amy Risley. I work for Bruce Hagen. Let Bruce Hagen work for you. Hagen-law.com.
We've all heard it before. Buy one, get one Windows. 10% off if you call today. $500 off if you sign tonight. But are these really a special? If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Hi, this is Candace with Exovations, and have I got a tip for you. Don't fall for it. It's exhausting trying to keep up with all the fake specials being offered. And we all say the same thing. We're all licensed, we're all insured, we all have 5-star reviews. At Exovations, we want to earn your business the right way. But don't take our word for it. Let us show you why we say we are different from other contractors. To find out what it means to have an on-time, on-budget, and stress-free renovation, call me today at 770-205-2995 or online at exovations.com. That's exovations.com.
436, how you doing? Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, and Guns N' Roses. Oh, look out. And in fact, him singing like this has now cost him his career. Didn't I just hear that the guy from Guns N' Roses, what's his name, has torn vocal things, and he can no longer sing. He no longer...
Axl Rose?
No, the other one. Anyway, or maybe I'm thinking of somebody else.
Yeah, you're thinking of Aerosmith.
Steven
Tyler.
Yeah, Steven Tyler. Yeah, he can't sing. He ruined his vocal cords. He's got like bleeding something or other. And I saw the other day.
Robert Plant doesn't sound like he used to sound either.
But again, it's from screaming like
who sounds the same as he did back in the 1960s, still golden voice, Rod Stewart. That guy.
Which is crazy.
It's amazing. What vocals towards?
Do you find me sexy?
Oh, God. He's got a couple good songs.
Oh, he's got wonderful songs.
Hundreds of good songs.
3 or 4
about
thousand.
hundreds.
Probably. Let's play some now.
Swall faces.
Dear God.
Stay with me.
Guns N' Roses, 1988, Appetite for Destruction. Guns N' Roses' debut album in 88 went to number 1 in America, spent 57 weeks on the chart, 5 million copies sold. Singles include Sweet Child O' Mine, Welcome to the Jungle, Paradise City, all top 10 hits. Worldwide sales, excess of 28 million. Their album, that debut album, is the best-selling debut album of all time in America. It beat Boston's debut, which had gone 17 times platinum. And Guns N' Roses beat Boston, which has got that song Amanda, among others, that I like so much. Our birthday list includes Dorian Harewood. You don't know the name probably. Is 74 years old. He was Private 8-Ball in Full Metal Jacket. Quote, "What we have here, little yellow sister, is a magnificent specimen of pure Alabama black snake."
He was a good actor.
His name is Dorian Harewood, 74 years old. Holy cow. And on this day in history, 1965, Democrat President LBJ signs the Voting Rights Act and apparently only used the N-word to his aides under his breath 6 times while he signed it. As he said, giving you black people the right to vote and making it illegal for his fellow Democrats to use their local laws to stop what he calls the N-words from voting for Democrats. LBJ putting all the brothers into, well, slum housing, basically, and the so-called hit on America, and that wasn't called. What was his name? Goodness for America, the LBJ's End of Poverty for America or something like that. I can't remember the name of the damn thing. And it just totally backfired. Totally backfired.
It destroyed the black nuclear family.
The more babies you have, girls out of wedlock, will pay for them all. And men started saying, what the hell, I don't have to take care of them. Anyway. What do I know? 340, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. By the way, we have the story of the crocodile and the hero dad.
A little lighter part of the news here.
And we also have now death threat, a little pettiness in the girls' Olympic gymnastics team issue has now boiled over into death threats.
Yeah. Simone Biles has sicked her posse on that girl. Yeah.
Wow.
Telling you.
What do you got there, Flounder?
We're hearing something. Sorry
about that. Someone sent me a dog video.
Oh, well, cool. Play it. I love dog videos.
Video.
I'm a sucker for all those. I
love them.
On those reels, and I mean, every time
I sit there 2 hours.
Yeah,
I'll be sitting there. Oh my God, 2 hours.
Well, the ones I'm seeing now are kind of rescue. So it starts off sad, where somebody finds.
Yeah. Oh,
but it ends up happy because they keep the dog and they nurse it to health.
Well, every time I open my Facebook page, there's a video, a picture there of some little barefoot teenage girl with a great big dog on the couch and something, and they plays with a cat or he tries. I mean, I can't stop watching them. I mean, it's
one after another.
That's ridiculous. 441, Kimmer, Pete, 5. Let's do some more of this stuff, and then we'll talk. We got a little side issues here as well. Oh, by the way, just in, Nancy Pelosi apparently just called her broker and said, "Sell everything."
I think she did it a few days ago.
Yeah, apparently. And by the way, Vice President Sidepiece, in an interview with a philanthropist girl who was the widow of Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, co-founder of Apple. She was at this code conference, and Carmela Sidepiece was talking about issues of immigration and environment and speaking out against Donald Trump's drug policies. Again, this was during Trump's administration in 2017. Cut number 6, Flounder. This is your current vice president with how she feels about what should be happening in America, and listen to how she phrases it, too.
We have to stay woke. Like, everybody needs to be woke. And you can talk about if you're the wokest or woker, but just stay more woke than less woke. Yeah.
What's the laugh? I mean, seriously, what the hell is the laugh? What kind of a personality talking about an issue that, I mean, to her is an important issue. It's a whole leftist issue of inclusion and equity and diversity, all that kind of stuff. So, and what is this laughter, this cackling, offensive sort of released?
Have you seen
energy
the
or
video
something?
where she's doing it? She had two women on each side of her, right? The blonde woman on one side is looking at her like, why is she laughing?
What's the matter with you? The woman on the couch, I mean, very serious. I mean, it looks like a very serious, sober woman looking as though, oh my God, what the hell is she talking? What is this coming from? Like, is she okay?
Is she a teenager?
I mean, seriously, she's like a little girl giggling at a freaking sleepover.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I'm the father of two girls, and I had a lot of sleepovers in our house, and you get them the chocolate.
What about the girls? Did they have some?
So their mothers were pretty good coming over later, No, but seriously, she's like a little girl in a freaking sleepover.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And in fact, Flounder, let's do cut number 5 while we're at it. She's also, she got her job as Attorney General, and I think she was a prosecutor in San Francisco too because of Willie Brown. She banged her way to the power tops in there, and she sure didn't forget how much power she had here on cut number 5.
The power I have as a prosecutor is that with a swipe of my pen, I can charge someone with a misdemeanor, the lowest level offense possible. And by virtue of that swipe of my pen, you will have to go to a courthouse and stand in line. You will have to come out of pocket and hire an attorney. You may get arrested for a few hours. You will be embarrassed in your community. You will miss time from coming onto the Google campus. All because with the swipe of my pen, I've charged you with a crime, which I may choose to dismiss 2 weeks later. It's an incredible amount of power.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's why she's in this. Can you, Bob, wouldn't you love to be a fly on the wall of the meetings that led to this, led to all of this?
Well, there was a rumor last night that they had a big thing. Biden had this, situation room.
Yeah.
Because what's going on around the world.
And
she's supposed to get kicked out.
She got kicked out of it.
Now, who reported that? Because you don't hear anything
I saw
today.
It too. I don't know whether it was on X. I didn't see anything today. I remember seeing that very thing, that they kicked, I think it was an X tweet, and they kicked her out.
That Biden kicked her out.
And apparently he's still furious at the whole deal about him not being on the ticket.
Yeah. Would you see Jill? Jill looks like she's on a 2-week bender.
Yeah, she's going to be.
He was helping her. He was literally helping her off the helicopter.
Yes.
That's how bad it is right now.
Somebody's going to die. Oh my God.
You still think there's a chance Kamala can be removed from the ticket?
No. This is set in stone now at this point. But is Hunter, does he pardon? When's he going to do it? He's got to do it.
Well, now, it's...
Well, the trial hasn't started.
He can wait till after the election. I mean, Hunter's second trial is coming up this month.
Yeah, he's going to wait till after the election.
So he'll wait till after the election.
Sense.
We can pardon him on both.
November 6th, whether who wins or not doesn't make a difference.
Riddle me this, Batman.
Yeah.
Before the trial, if he pardons him, do they just stop the trial? They just say, okay, it's worthless doing it because you just pardoned him from any future?
Well, I don't think he pardoned him before the trial is concluded. Oh, well, maybe so. Well, he'd either have to do it before the trial begins, otherwise it would be really.
I'm telling you right now, if you can scrape up some pennies, now's the time to buy and invest in a Hunter Biden painting. Because they're cheap right now.
Yeah, you're some of that Bitcoin stuff. It's going back up a little, apparently.
I think it's
up to $5,000 now or something.
It was up to $60 a little while ago.
Well, I think it went up another $5,000.
And I lost $5,000 Monday when it crashed. I lost $5,000. So we'll see what it's doing right now. Skip this.
I think I heard it was up 5,000.
All right, let's see. It's up 1,300.
1,300. Okay, well, so we'll see. Anyway, 446, Kimber, Pete, and Flounder. Holy crap, it's sport. Oh, we didn't do Flounder's Funnies. We got to do Flounder's Funnies. I owe you 2, and I'm going to owe you 3 before I know it. So it's Kimber, Pete, and Flounder, and the failure is on me.
Did it on purpose.
Total's mine. Just
Look at your eyeballs, street cocaine. You drink that white rum, you hit the room. What do you
Hey, Lori, how you doing, baby?
Kamala.
Yeah.
I heard an ad a while back when she wanted to come after our guns.
Yeah.
They wanted to buy back.
Yeah, buy
and
back.
The guy made a great point. He said, how can you buy back something you ain't bought? I bought my gun.
Yeah, you didn't buy me.
The Kimmer Show, every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on XTRA 106.3 and the XTRA app.
It is so important to prepare in case of any emergency, and there's one place you can do that, and that's True Prep in Marietta on Cobb Parkway. But before you get into preparing, you need to know everything that goes into preparing. That's why they have all these great classes. They always have an intro to emergency preparedness class. What about a bug out bag? Make sure that you go to their class on that. And also, don't forget, they also do blood drives, everything else. It's your one-stop shop for preparedness. True Prep, Marietta, Cobb Parkway, or online, trueprep.com. That's TRUprep.com. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow at True Prep.
Hey Atlanta, it's Mark from Atlanta Safe House. The Safe House crew hopes everyone is enjoying their vacation this summer. We know the criminals are watching and waiting for you to leave so they can bust in and steal your stuff. But hey, there is a solution. Come purchase a quality safe from Atlanta Safe House. And with summer rebates and specials, you can save hundreds and hundreds of dollars on a quality safe. And remember, don't let an illegal or crackhead deliver or move your safe. They could very well know your combination. So drop by the showroom or go to AtlantaSafeHouse.com.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Coward for the weekly radio show Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. This week's guest is Jesse Fellebaum, Director of Operations at A Second Chance. Tune in on Saturdays or catch up on all past episodes wherever you get your podcasts or at thepodcastpark.com.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. Whether your loved one's been arrested in Cherokee, Clayton, or any of the other metro Atlanta counties in between, A Second Chance Bail Bonds works fast to help expedite release within hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT or online at atlbail.com.
Hey, it's Tug from my friends, the Frost family of First Liberty Building and Loan. You hear about their family's company all the time here on XTRA 106.3. First Liberty has helped hundreds of small businesses grow by saying yes when the big banks say no. On Wall Street, opportunities to earn big returns are everywhere. But for Main Street investors, those opportunities are hard to find. Until now. Our First Liberty notes are now open to qualified Main Street investors, paying interest rates of 8 to 13% while helping fuel the growth of small businesses right here in Georgia. With a few basic qualifications and with as little as $25,000, qualified Main Street investors just like you can earn an 8 to 13% interest rate. If this is you, they'd love to hear from you. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com and consider joining the First Liberty family today. That's FirstLibertyGA.com. FirstLibertyGA.com.
First Liberty notes are not obligations of or guaranteed by any financial institution and are not secured by any collateral. They are not FDIC insured or guaranteed by any government agency. You could lose money. Purchasers must verify their SEC accredited investor status. Securities are not being offered in any jurisdiction in which it is unlawful.
Marketing is everywhere. From the billboards on the highways to the notifications on your phone, we are constantly bombarded with people trying to sell us stuff. What makes good marketing? Are you doing enough in your life personally and professionally to market yourself? You have questions, and the Marketing Madmen have answers. Tune in every Saturday, now at 4 p.m., right here on XTRA 106.3 to get practical marketing advice from expert guests who are shaping and reshaping the business world. They say marketing is a madman's game. Join the Marketing Madmen every Saturday at 4 p.m. to find out why.
That was 1974. ABBA scored their first top 10 hit in America, number 6, Waterloo. It was written specifically to be entered into the 1974 third with Ring Ring, the Swedish pre-selection contest previous year. Original title was Honey Pie. I don't know why, and this was not one of my. I
love this song.
I love this song too, but there are a few that I really, really like. Fernando. There's a couple, but anyway, I love ABBA. I've always loved ABBA, and I have about 10 of them on my magic music stick. And our birthday list today includes M. Night Shyamalan. I might have added an extra 54. M. Night has movies including The Sixth Sense. Yeah. You know, I didn't get that. I'm so stupid, I swear to God. They did the whole movie, this little boy, Jaley Hole, whatever it's called, and he's sitting across from Mel Gibson or somebody, and he's talking about I see dead people. Bruce Willis, whatever it was. And then I realized at the end, at the very last scene, all of a sudden you see Bruce Willis talking to himself at the table. I thought, oh my God, that's right. He's dead. His wife isn't there because he sees dead people, and he's been talking to the guy who's dead. And it was like as he was explaining to his friend that he sees dead people. It's really a horrible thing, and so you'll know. But the guy obviously was dead because he talks to dead people, and I didn't get it until the last 4 seconds of the movie.
Nobody got it. That was the point of the movie. Nobody got it to the end.
I figured I'm so stupid. I should have figured it out.
I've never seen the movie, believe it or not, but I know what happens and everything. But don't you find out at the beginning of the movie that he's dead?
No, he's shot.
No.
He's shot.
Yeah, but you don't know he's dead.
But he's shot in the stomach, so you think, oh, he's going to live through that. No one dies if they're shot in the stomach. No, not now.
Yeah. Anyway, I was such an idiot that I didn't. Well, anyway.
By the way, it took me over a year, but I finally sat down, and it was like two or three times a week. It was something to look forward to when I went home. I watched The Blacklist, all 10 seasons.
Oh, really?
With James Spader and everything.
I never missed the first 2 seasons.
I watched the first four or 5 seasons.
Well, there's some of the seasons, some of them they kind of drifted a little bit, but still, it was. But James Spader's great. I love the character, Raymond Reddington and everything. And I finally got to the end of it the other night, and I was depressed because it was over.
Really?
I was depressed because
I don't think I ever saw. I never saw the last probably 2 seasons.
You wouldn't believe how it ends.
How many years?
10 seasons.
What, 10 years?
How is he related to her? What's their connection?
They don't actually come out and ever say it. Even though they kind of hinted 2 or 3 years ago what was going on, the last 7th or 8th seasons. Should I say it?
Yeah.
That he basically got a sex change and he was really her mother, but they never came out and said whether that was true or not.
Wow.
But in the last show, he's talking to the little girl, and she said, "You're acting like a mother." He goes, "Well, it's hard not to have that habit."
Oh boy.
So it's kind of like a little, but how it ends is really interesting.
Well, it was
over, depressing me.
Well,
it's been over for a couple of years.
Yeah, you're good.
What was with the ending?
All these people trying to kill him for 10 years. He's been escaping the whole world. FBI, everybody's trying to kill him.
He's
the whole
everything. Premises is the blacklist and seeing all these killers and stuff.
He's in Spain.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is he's going to go back to Spain, Spain, and he's going to take these bull horns back because this famous Spanish matador got killed by this famous bull. Mm-hmm. And he found it in a bar in Mexico. He goes, no, this bull needs to be where the men live.
Yeah.
So he's bringing the horns back, and he's walking across a field in Spain, and all of a sudden you hear this, and he turns around, and there's a bull. And this bull's sitting there snorting, and he doesn't try and run. He's like, you know what? I'm dying anyway. I got a disease. He goes, this is the best way to go out, to have this fierce force of nature take me out. Not a human being, not the FBI, not the Mossad or anything like that. And he sits there, and you don't see it, but basically the bull kills him.
You could hear it. You knew what happened.
Yeah, they find him laying mangled in the middle of a field, and it was kind of like, damn. That was just depressing.
Well, but that's better than The Sopranos or Seinfeld. So
it gave you an ending. That's true.
Yeah. Oh my. Flounder's funny. I'm so bad. Oh God. 4:55. What do you got there, Flounder?
Started jogging. Mentioned that to a friend of mine who does it a lot, and he was like, "Oh, you need to shave your legs so you go faster." This guy has a beard. But I was like, no, I don't need to I'm fine with my resistance workout. But he was persistent. He was like, no, man, listen, I'd been riding my bike to work for years, and I started shaving my legs every day, cut 2 minutes off the commute. It's like, but how long does it take you to shave? You can shave your legs faster if your arms are shaved. Read this article online that had all these amazing facts about the human body, and one of them said that the average human being's skin, our skin, is so sensitive we can feel the weight of a bee's wing. That's 1/10,000th of an ounce. If that's true, I'm below average. I've gone an entire day without realizing I had another pair of my underwear in my pant leg. I was looking at a map of the United States, and I know that we were colonized from east to west, right to left, but it looks like it was the other way around. It looks like the founding fathers approached some guy, and they had like an outline of the future country on a piece of paper, and they gave him that in a pen and said, listen, we need you to divide this into 50 sections. Start on the left side. And he was like, oh yeah, there is plenty of room.
Rhode Island.
Delaware. Massachusetts is kind of teeny. Got the little tail hanging on the end of Cape Cod there. Oh, my God. What a great bit.
That's funny.
What a funny bit. By the way, this morning I found a sock in my running shorts because I'd done laundry, and I swear to God, I found a sock in my running shorts.
When I went to the river a few weeks ago, I wore my aqua socks, right?
Yeah.
And I left them out in the garage outside, and I went to pick them up the other day. They were dry. And I'm carrying it in. I'm going, oh, you know, always check for snakes or something.
Right.
In there. So I shake it out.
Spiders. Yeah.
I look in there. I take a stick, and I jam it in there and turn around. Ain't nothing in there. I walk inside, and I drop on the floor, and out pops a lizard about this big.
Oh, my.
About the size of my finger, jumps out, looks at me, his tongue comes out and under the couch. So now I have a house lizard.
I got to get a cat. You don't need much. Holy smokes. That's pretty cool. By the way, I'm wearing a pair of socks today that I love. For some reason, I love the feeling of my socks today. I don't know why it is. And I can show them. I got this one over here, and I got the blue one over here.
Yeah,
and
flag.
And they're for some reason they're perfect. They're just they sit on my ankles perfectly. They're soft enough where they can get your foot in. They're not too tight. Like the problem with buying men's socks, if you have regular, it's beginning to get them in there. Anyway,
that's what she said.
Oh, that's what I was saying.
Oh yeah, Daddy.
That was a whole segment on socks. The sock segment every day at 4:58.
Well, no, I just for some reason I can feel it. I can feel it. It feels so good for some reason.
Let's get it sponsored. Every day at 4:58, we'll show what socks we got on.
We could do that.
This segment brought to you by.
And by the way, you will notice that neither one of us wears a pair of socks.
Nope.
We always have different socks on each foot. I don't know, not because of you or you because of me, just that's the way we both are. Now, Flounder, do you wear different socks on your thing, or do you wear a pair of socks?
Pair of socks.
Okay,
I would let Bear go get my socks. I said, go get me socks, and he'd bring back whatever was in his mouth.
And that's what you'd wear. So, well, there you are. Anyway, coming up 5 o'clock, Timber P and Flounder's Funnies, and Holy Crap at Sports, and let's follow politic and stuff, too. Look out, there we go.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. This hour is presented by Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watches.
Ready to take it on the road. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. Democratic presidential nominee Kamala Harris in Philadelphia, where she's set to make her first appearance with running mate Minnesota Governor Tim Walz.
All the initial stories say that Harris chose Walz over Josh Shapiro because she gets along better with him. And even though Shapiro did not get elevated to running mate, he is expected to still speak at tonight's rally, just not as the running mate, rather as the guy in the charge of this battleground state that they keep coming to. We are told also that Vice President Harris made another call this morning to her current boss, President Biden.
Fox's Peter Doocy in Philadelphia. President Biden writing on X that Walz has been a strong, principled, and effective leader, and saying the Harris-Walz ticket will be a powerful voice for working people. Republican vice presidential nominees J.D. Vance says Harris listened to what he called the Hamas wing of her party.
She selected Tim Walz, a guy who wants to ship more manufacturing jobs to China.
But Vance said he called Governor Walz to congratulate him and said he will debate him once he becomes the official nominee. A Pakistani man with purported ties to Iran arrested in the U.S. in a plot to carry out a plot to kill American politicians, including former President Trump.
We have found no evidence of any link between the defendant charged in the complaint unsealed today
and the attempted assassination of the former president in Butler, Pennsylvania on July 13th.
Attorney General Merrick Garland, prosecutors say Asif Merchant traveled to New York in April to hire hitmen and pay them in advance of $5,000. Those men were undercover FBI agents. Merchant was arrested last month before he could leave the U.S. Stocks with some gains after yesterday's sell-off. The Dow gained 294. America's listening to Fox News.
Well, summer's here and the weather is beautiful. Everyone has a favorite outdoor activity: golf, bike riding, bird watching, long walks. Ask 100 people, you'll get 100 answers. But if everyday aches and pains are keeping you on the sidelines, I have one answer: Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a 100% drug-free daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients. It doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it. Wherever you're hurting, back, neck, joints, or muscles, in 3 weeks or less, you'll start to feel the difference all day, every day. So whatever you like to do, swimming, pickleball, hanging out in the garden, Relief Factor can help you feel good again and let you enjoy all your favorite outdoor activities all summer long. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF and save on your first order. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Fight pain naturally with Relief Factor.
Let's get it together, ladies. Left shoulder, right of leg, ready on your dog, target. Road guards out. Stand by. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete Davidson, Flounder, and you. Here's the number: 404-741-1230. 404-741-1230. Oh, we got all the stuff on politics. We got some sound bites of things going on. And your calls, holy crap, it's sports. I owe you at least two Flounder's funnies. And the updating news about the Pakistani guy. Also, the hero dad and the crocodile park, where people specifically go to look at the really big crocodiles.
And die.
And guess what happens when they do? Anyway, it's a story of a hero, and it's just heartbreaking. Also, an Olympic story. By the way, Pete, I have two Babylon V Olympic, two sports Olympic headline, Babylon V headlines, which after Holy Crap at Sports, if you haven't seen them, I'll share. Anyway, we got all kinds of good stuff here coming up for you. And your calls, 404-741-1230. Can I do a quick personal story? Again, I try to be an example for a good society, and once in a while I try to become a gentleman, and two things happened that really were kind of fun. One of them, last night going home, I got to the I was about to turn I walked from here to the elevator parking deck, and as I was walking, there was a woman in front of me, about 20 or 30 feet in front of me, and it was no big deal. And so I'm always aware if she started walking toward where the entrance is to the parking deck elevator. And so I thought to myself, well, now I don't want to, she's by herself, and I didn't want to crowd her, and so I kind of very slowly walked in, and she was waiting for the elevator as I turned around the corner at the elevator place, and she hit the button, and I said to her, I'll take the next one and be fine. She said, oh no, that's okay. Because women by herself, and then as she said, no, that's fine. She turned around. She's about 9 months pregnant.
Yeah.
I mean, really, a beautiful young woman, not very, very, very pregnant. She said, no, that's okay. And then the second thing I did to make sure also, guys, you should do this also, if this is kind of an example that happens, offer to take another elevator to wait for another one, in case she's nervous about it. And the second thing is, as soon as the door opened, I said, by the way, I'm going to number 4. I'm going to number 4, so that she would know that I'm not waiting for her to push a button. See what I mean? Anyway, so that's just just two things, a little gentlemanly thing, just as a tip of advice, just to be a good person. What?
Nothing.
That's all I got. All right, one more. Actually, today driving in. We got
a phone call.
Phone call. Whoever you are, you're on the radio.
I forgot who it is.
We don't know who it is.
I forgot. You told me and I
who's
forgot.
This? Who is this?
Tom.
Tom. Hey, Tom. How you doing? Thanks for calling, man. What's going on?
Enjoy listening to you guys. I continue to be amazed. The Republicans
could screw up a one-car funeral.
Yep.
All Trump's got to do is follow Reagan's 11th commandment.
Yes.
Say no evil of a fellow Republican.
Thank you.
That's it.
And he doesn't need to talk about anything but the freaking economy. All Reagan would say, he'd start every one of his speeches with, if you're better off today than you were 4 years ago, vote for my opponent.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, he doesn't. The guy can't get out of his own way.
I know, it's so
He comes
simple,
to
too.
Georgia,
Yeah.
Insults the governor, insults everybody. The guy's just a freaking moron.
Well, but again, you know, the governor also, as you know, said he admitted out public on television, I didn't vote for Trump. I mean, you know, we can't do this. Everybody's got to say, wait a minute, we need to win. How could they not think about their country? I mean, it's just so simple. Just list like the economy and then list all the things that they stand for, the Democrat Party, and nobody could possibly vote for these people. I mean, I don't get it.
I agree with you, but you know, they're so goddamn undisciplined. Look at last week. What was the word of the week for the Republicans? They're all weird.
Yeah.
Remember? From Schumer on down, everybody was weird.
Yeah.
They stick to their talking
Yes,
point.
they do.
The
They stick together. Yeah.
Yep. The Republicans, you know, they continually snatch defeat. I mean, defeat from the jaws of victory. I mean, these guys here, I mean, really, think about it.
I know. It's stupid. It's stupid, silly, and even a person who doesn't know anything about politics like me could say, well, gee, if you just, you know, we're all getting along together and we're going to make the country better by doing this, this, and this, and there's your platform compared to the other guys. Tom, thank you. Again, I mean,
you know how weird that is? I'm going down West Paces Ferry this morning, go to the doctor's office, and I passed the governor's mansion, and that thought hit me. Reagan's commandment, do not speak ill of other Republicans. And then Tom calls up and says, I'd forgotten all about that.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, listen to Reagan.
Well, and again, it goes for both sides.
Yes.
This isn't one guy. This is the whole. This is the party. This is the state. This is the whole culture. What are we doing in this state?
And if Brian Kemp thinks he's going to run for national office, I got news for you, buddy. This country, the Midwest, the West, and North will never vote for a white man from the South with that thick of an accent ever again.
Yeah. Well, I don't understand why it isn't so. It should be so cohesive right now, especially now that they've picked the guy. You would think that, well, I would sure love to have the governor come out like J.D. Vance did, and other people are coming out publicly and
he
saying,
was a never-Trumper.
Well, yeah, come out and say it. Come out and say, boy, this is great. Thank God. And just talk about the differences and get the Georgia Republican Party going. Have you heard anybody from Georgia saying anything about the selection today?
They're not going to get the vote out for Trump. They're, the Kemp people are going to sit on their hands.
I know. It's just, it's freaking wrong. Okay, all right, hold everything. Let's do, Van Jones. We've heard a lot of people reacting to it. I'm sorry, I beg your pardon. Flounder, if you will, cut number 2. If you don't know much about Tim Walz, the governor of Minnesota, you're about to find out in this 9 seconds what he stands for, if you will, Sir Flounder.
But we can get out there, reach out, make the case. And for one thing, don't ever shy away from our progressive values. One person's socialism is another person's neighborliness.
One person's socialism is the next person's.
Say it out loud.
We believe it. They trust them when they say that.
Jenny's on the line. She wants to comment on the Trump-Kemp issue.
Jenny, welcome aboard. I appreciate it. What do you think?
Hey, Kimmer. I just had a quick thing. I don't blame Trump at all because Kemp and his wife run their mouths. I mean, they've been doing it for 4 years against Trump. But the thing with him bringing it up the other day, I think Kemp is going to try to run for Senate.
Yeah, I think so, too.
And we don't want that.
Yeah.
He'll be another Mitt Romney. So I think Trump is playing ahead of the game, just trying to put it in our, Georgia.
God,
this guy can't be trusted.
Name me another Republican in Georgia that can beat these two socialists, though, outside of Brian Kemp.
Well, that's the thing, Jenny. What are we doing? We got two liberal socialists, and one of them's going to come up for election. Of course, it's staggered because they can't do it at the same time. Who's there? I mean, who do we have?
Collins. Yeah. I think Doug Collins is going to go for it.
No. Well, again, he was a major force, and then when he was not chosen to be the Senate candidate, that was pretty much the ball game.
He ran his mouth.
Yeah.
Well, but one thing with that is Kemp endorsed Loeffler, right?
Yeah.
and stuck
Yeah, he
her in
picked her.
there.
Yeah, he picked her.
He picked her.
Yeah.
And then she
Kelly,
freaking lost to Warnock. So
part of the reason she lost, though, is because Collins wouldn't get out of the race.
Yeah,
it was the runoff.
Yeah, it was a fight between the two of them,
And he knew he couldn't win.
I thought he could win. Honestly, I thought he would. I thought he would be.
He stayed too long. He stayed way too long.
I thought he was going to be the candidate, and I thought he would win.
I did too.
Yeah.
I did too. And Kelly left. Don't forget, she had all that insider trading crap going on. I don't know.
Yeah, well, her own team turned against her. Her own basketball team said they wouldn't vote. I mean,
They're a bunch of liberals.
Yeah, I know, but still, it was, what kind of a pick is that? That's the lead. Anyway, we saw what happened.
I just with Trump, Trump, whatever. But I'm ever since I remember the day that Kemp got on Fox 4 years or back in 2020 and turned on Trump.
Yeah.
And I remember standing there going, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, what's up with this?
And ever since. And then when he comes out and tells CNN, of all people, my vote didn't matter.
Yeah, didn't vote, it was over. Yeah.
I thought I was so sick of him. But anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you,
I just
had to say, and I'm
thanks,
sorry.
sweetie. Thank you, baby. Have a great day. Be careful out there. 512, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Pete Sports coming to her.
She made some good points.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's just, why are we in this? We shouldn't even be in this position. What happened? Even the old days in the 70s, when I came here in 72, Maynard Jackson was about to be the first black mayor. Sam Massell was the first Jewish mayor of Atlanta. Sam Nunn was head of the Armed Services Committee. The old Southern Democrat was pretty much a moderate Republican. Yeah. And then all of a sudden now, I mean, that was 50 years ago, true, but good grief.
But ever since I was a kid, Republicans have eaten themselves, eaten their young.
That's right.
Look what Gingrich did. He was on top of the world, Speaker of the House, and he blew it.
Yeah, he also allowed Clinton to get away with it.
And NAFTA.
Yeah.
And he got caught doing something, and he's gone.
Bingo. Well, now he's available. Is his wife still the ambassador to Rome or someplace? Or?
I don't think so.
I don't think. Anyway, 513, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Everything's coming up next, boys. Hoorah, Semper Fi. I got to go with more. And Pete Davis next on 106.3 right here.
XTRA 106.3 is the only station in Atlanta to bring you unedited news, information, and updates. With an all-star lineup of local and network voices, XTRA is committed to being the station you need during the biggest election of our lifetime.
This presidential election is unlike any other.
Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station is XTRA 106.3 FM, and listen across Georgia on the XTRA app.
We've all heard it before. Buy one, get one Windows. 10% off if you call today. $500 off if you sign tonight. But are these really a special? If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Hi, this is Candace with Exovations, and have I got a tip for you. Don't fall for it. It's exhausting trying to keep up with all the fake specials being offered. And we all say the same thing. We're all licensed, we're all insured, we all have 5-star reviews. At Exovations, we want to earn your business the right way. But don't take our word for it. Let us show you why we say we are different from other contractors. To find out what it means to have an on-time, on-budget, and stress-free renovation, call me today at 770-205-2995 or online at exovations.com. That's exovations.com.
Have you thought about securing your hard-earned assets? Do you have concerns about the future? Protecting assets is crucial, and that's where Nelson Elder Care Law excels. As a family-owned and family-focused firm, we provide absolute assurance and peace of mind through our trademarked Absolute Protection Trust, tailored services in estate planning, probate administration, Medicaid crisis solutions, guardianship, and conservatorship. Our goal is to exceed your expectations and empower informed decisions. Visit NelsonElderCareLaw.com for asset protection and peace of mind.
Have you heard about Sonder and their Georgia-based Medicare Advantage health plans? Sonder Health Plans is committed to revolutionizing healthcare, making it straightforward, personal, and affordable. Call them and ask if you qualify for their fantastic $400 grocery card offer and $0 premiums. They've even got their own radio show and podcast called Weekend Wellness, dedicated to keeping all Georgians healthy and happy at every age. Call 800-331-2928 or visit SonderHealthPlans.com. Sonder Health Plans is an HMO with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Sonder Health Plans depends on contract renewal.
Well, summer's here and the weather is beautiful. Everyone has a favorite outdoor activity: golf, bike riding, bird watching, long walks. Ask 100 people, you'll get 100 answers. But if everyday aches and pains are keeping you on the sidelines, I have one answer: Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a 100% drug-free daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients. It doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it. Wherever you're hurting, back, neck, joints, or muscles, in 3 weeks or less, you'll start to feel the difference all day, every day. So whatever you like to do, swimming, pickleball, hanging out in the garden, Relief Factor can help you feel good again and let you enjoy all your favorite outdoor activities all summer long. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF and save on your first order. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Fight pain naturally with Relief Factor.
At the Piedmont Bank, we're proud to be one of Georgia's largest community banks, focusing on serving businesses and the communities they serve. With headquarters right here in Metro Atlanta, our tailored banking expertise and solutions help meet the diverse needs of our customers so they have what it takes to grow, expand, and thrive. It's what elevates us above the rest. Find a location near you at Piedmont.bank and experience elevated banking for you and your business. The Piedmont Bank. Banking elevated. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Horizon Background Screening is a fully licensed and insured private investigations firm that focuses on litigation support for law firms, criminal defense cases, and background investigations. We are also FCRA compliant and process pre-employment background checks, tenant screening, and background checks for volunteer organizations. Whether your business is a law firm needing anything from scene investigations to witness interviews, or a company that requires pre-employment background checks, we have the experience you need. Visit HorizonScreening.com to learn more. That's HorizonScreening.com.
All right, look out. Our 5 o'clock hour brought to you by our good friends at Lee Brand Jewelers, where luxury jewelry and watches are affordable. Drop by their store in Sandy Springs or visit LeeBrand.com. Tell them the Kimmer sent you. Oh, mercy, 519. Holy crap, it's sports with Pete Davis.
I just was noticed that former Louisville and Tulsa coach Steve Cragthorpe has passed away at age 59.
Whoa.
He'd been battling Parkinson's disease.
Oh, my.
He was a head coach at Louisville and Tulsa. He also was at LSU and some other places as well.
I'll be darned.
Pretty good
That's
offensive coach.
That's a shame. Wow.
The 9-3 Colin Ray for the Brewers tonight in Truist Park. You can see 2-4 Bryce Elder for the Braves. It is Outcast night, and you know what that means. Outcast night. Everybody gets a free jar of Atlanta Soul just by walking in the door.
Oh, there you go.
Atlanta just 5.5 games behind the Phillies. Milwaukee is 6 games ahead of both Pittsburgh and St. Louis in the NL Central. Chris Sale is still leading in the Cy Young favorite poll amongst the MLB.com experts.
Excellent.
And Michael Harris II begins his rehab stint in Gwinnett tonight. So there's a little good news as
Very
well.
good.
Center fielder hasn't played since pulling his hammy back June 14th. And Major League Baseball is soon to be announcing that the Braves and the Reds will play a regular season game next year sometime at Bristol Motor Speedway. Seats 150K for a race.
They'll probably get them.
Well, they won't get that much for that. I probably had different seating.
So they're going to make the infield into a ballpark, I guess?
So. Yeah. It's big enough.
Fences I don't know how they're going. Well, that's to be interesting.
Why?
According to the Athletic.
Yeah.
Well, MLB,
Why?
they do this. They move it. They did it at Rickwood Stadium in Birmingham this year.
Oh, they did the Black Stadium
out in Iowa.
To honor the Negro Leagues and
Field
stuff
of Dreams.
Yeah.
And stuff. You know, a movie that you've never seen.
Well, I have it.
The only
though.
man in America is
I have it.
Real man.
I could look at it. I have it available.
How can you not watch Field of Dreams?
Well, it's because
What's
it's,
wrong
you
with
know,
you?
I don't. It's just, I don't know. I don't, I just don't.
Happy birthday, Bob Horner.
Bob Horner.
How old do you think Bob Horner is?
Well, if he was 18 when he was here, and 64.
Higher.
Oh, my. 71.
Lower.
68.
No, you're just talking crazy. He's 67 years
That's
old.
a
I cannot
lot.
believe
Wow.
that Bob Horner is 67 years old.
That's outrageous.
No.
That can't be right.
The White Sox lost their 21st straight game, tying the American League record with a defeat to Oakland last night.
Oh, boy.
Chicago on the longest losing streak since the 88 Orioles lost 21 in a row. The NL record since 1900 is held by the 61 Phillies, who lost 23. The Major League record is 1889 Louisville Colonels, an American Association team, lost 26 straight games.
Wow.
Yeah, Chicago last won July 10th, a doubleheader opener against Minnesota. They're now 27-88. If they finish out this way, they'll lose 124, the most losses since the 1899 Cleveland Spiders of the National League went 20-134. The White Sox have been held to 1 run or no runs 32 times so far this year. Former White Sox great Frank Thomas, the Hall of Fame first baseman, on the team's postgame show yesterday said he would throw a postgame tantrum with reporters if he were managing the team. It's time to snap, Thomas says. That's the only way through to the players right now. Snap. I'm serious. I don't want to hear no more, we're trying. No more, they're working hard every day. No, it's time to snap. It's time to kick over the spread.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
If you knock over the food, people get angry.
Yeah. What is the issue? Is it
they suck?
Well, I mean, why they have money? I mean, do they just don't buy players? I mean, what the hell?
Jerry Reinsdorf, man. How old is he?
He's
200.
Doesn't he do both Chicago and the hockey teams? Basketball. He does 2 or 3 sports.
They just
God, spend the money.
Outside of 2005, they've.
Does anybody go to the games? Do they have any crowds at all?
Why would you go to Southside Chicago that stadium?
So you would think if they want to have a ball club, they would get people to make winning games so people to go watch them.
Let's face it. The Cubs run Chicago. Never will be different.
That's true.
Ever heard of Pitbull?
Heard of a Pitbull or the name Pitbull? Like the rapper? There's a rapper named Pitbull.
Well, you have heard of him.
I have heard of Pitbull.
He has bought the naming rights to Florida International's football stadium.
Oh, really?
He will pay the school $1.2 million American dollars per year for 5 years. It is now known as Pitbull Stadium.
Well, cool. I like it.
He will be the official entrepreneur of FIU athletics. Let's see, he's a Grammy Award winner, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, he's going to have to post 12 times a year on social media about them. He's going to appear at one fundraising event each year. He has access to the stadium to do whatever he wants for 10 days a year.
Like holding a party or
I don't know.
Yeah, cool.
He's got 2 suites reserved, and his vodka brand, Volley 305, is the preferred brand sold in the stadium. What would you do if you had your own stadium for 10 nights a year? What would you do?
Well, I'd have parties with. I'd have games, pick up games. I'd play a little ball, maybe.
I do what the Braves do and other places do, is put up some golf thing at the top and hit golf balls across it.
Yeah, just have recreation night.
Zip line.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Paintball.
Did you see the video I put of my kids and my grandkids rather at the tree climbing park?
Really?
Oh my God! It's on Facebook and I'll send them to you.
Right.
I mean, little grandkids climbing up trees, going down zip lines, jumping off with a rope down to the ground. I mean, unbelievable.
I don't do that. I hate heights, but the time I did zip lining up in the mountains, I loved it.
Oh yeah, I love stuff like
Absolutely loved it. Olympic news. Sophia Smith burst into the spotlight just in time today. The game winner, the 96th minute. The U.S. women beat Germany 1-0.
Really?
That's right. So now we will face either Brazil or Spain, who are playing probably right now to play the final.
Is this a medal round?
The Olympic,
wow.
yeah, for the gold. So we'll see.
Holy cow.
And the U.S. men's basketball team spanked Brazil today. So that's good.
Yeah.
And a replay of April 1941, though. Germany beats Greece in men's basketball.
Oh,
Former Hawk Dennis Schroeder scored 13. And here's a scary thing to say.
Yeah.
Germany is the defending world champion.
Now, wait a minute. May we?
I don't know why the French would laugh at that, but anyway.
I don't have any idea.
Isn't it about time for the Germans to march limbing like west and take Paris again? It's been a while.
Oh, the mayor of Paris says, a table for 20,000, monsieur.
That's your favorite joke.
It is my favorite
your only joke. The women's surfing in Tahiti got a visitor as a whale breached during the competition. And there are worse things and worse places to be than surfing for fame and fortune in Tahiti right now. I've always wanted to go to Tahiti.
Yeah? Yeah,
the South Sea.
Do they still have the dancing girls in little luau skirts and stuff and everything on the beaches and stuff?
Well, I'm not going if they don't.
Oh, man.
Another swimming event in the Seine River postponed due to the run of the French brown trout.
Oh, God.
Swimming in the Seine River has been banned since 1923, by the way.
What just bumped into me here?
Team Great Britain athletes have come out in support of their swimmer Adam Peaty after he launched a stinging attack on the quality of the food in the Olympic Village.
Yeah, God.
He basically said he has found worms in the dishes.
Yeah.
And they've been served raw chicken. That crazy French cuisine. They eat anything they can outwalk.
Well, I was reading the part that they say they're trying to make like 60% of the food is vegan and no protein. And these athletes are saying, I need meat. I need meat. They said there's fish, there's worms in the fish. The food is horrible. They can't eat it. People are sleeping on the grass outside.
Because of no air conditioning.
It's unbelievable.
Aren't they known for their food over there?
Yeah, you think they have gravy on everything or available to you.
Gravy. I don't think they call it gravy.
Gravy.
Sauce.
Sauce.
I'm not a big. I don't care for French food. Tell you the truth.
Oh, I love French food. More gravy and sweetness and butter. Yeah, I'm all over.
Says a lot about you.
Right. I'm the guy who walks into a restaurant, a fancy restaurant, on a date, and the first thing I get to the table says, "We're going to need more butter," before I sit down.
Oh, okay, you expect me to believe that when you started off with you're walking in with a date?
Well, okay, that was back when I had money. I could rent my weekend girls.
You lost me at that point. Okay, it's Tuesday, so here's your daily update on what Charles Barkley is up to.
Oh, God.
He's staying, reversing his decision to retire after next NBA season. Sir Charles says he's staying with TNT, which is nice since he signed a 10-year contract just 2 years ago.
Well, yeah, that would be.
But you know what? All for Charles. Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And you can take the lib out of ESPN, but Trey Wingo, and I like Trey Wingo, formerly of ESPN, tweeted the Harrison Butker extension, making him the highest paid kicker, underscores the inherent truth of the NFL. The better you are at a job, the more a team is willing to put up with, pure and simple. To which Bobby Barack responded, hey, Wingo, how come you never make these statements when NFL teams extend woman beaters and violent criminals? You're more worried about Harrison than his teammate crashing into a young family while drag racing. It's so funny to see you pander to the left when you spent your entire career pandering to the left, and ESPN still passed on re-signing you, telling people you were an older white guy.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean,
quit sucking up to them, Trey. They don't care.
Plus, you get the whole thing about a guy supporting his wife and his family and his church. What the hell? Yeah. Why is that a thing?
Good for Harrison.
It's
because this country's insane.
God.
Or the left is.
Look who's running for Democrat presidency.
They're insane. It's like someone said, the Republicans aren't perfect, but the other side's insane.
Yeah, they are. They're crazy.
On this day, August 6, 1973, Warren Spahn and Roberto Clemente inducted into the Hall of Fame. 2010, the Braves retired Tom Glavine's number 47, a game against the Giants. The Braves win in 11 innings. 1967, my favorite third baseman of all time, sorry, Darrell Evans, Clete Boyer, Brooks Robinson set a major league record when he hit into his fourth career what?
Double play. No, triple play.
Triple play.
Oh, my God.
That poor guy.
No kidding.
And in 1969, Twins manager Billy Martin walked up to pitcher Dave Boswell, put his arm around him and said, look, Dave, I know you just got in a fight with your teammate Bob Allison, but we'll let bygones be bygones and everything will be just fine.
Or
Billy punched Dave in the face, giving him 20 stitches.
He's going after Reggie Jackson, for God's sake.
He's a big guy.
In fact, have you ever seen the special on HBO, the special on Billy Martin and this? Oh my God, it's hysterical. I mean, it's as much fun as watching the one with who's the guy they hated from Duke?
Christian Laettner.
Christian Laettner.
Oh, yeah.
We hate Laettner.
We did
screw Laettner or whatever. All right, and a couple of Babylon Bee headlines here for you, Pete. Chicago White Sox eliminated from playoffs for the next 50 seasons. And my other favorite. Referee warns Olympic women's boxing finalists not to punch each other in the testicles. And Cy Young pitched his way to his first victory on this day in 1890. Cy Young, when he was done, his career wins total 511.
Yeah.
Satchel Paige became the oldest major. Hold on, Flounder. I got one more thing with Satchel. Satchel Paige became the oldest major league pitcher to throw a complete game. He was 46, but that's nothing. When Satchel Paige joined the Kansas City Athletics in September 1965, he was age 59. He regaled his new young teammates with stories like the one about his legendary control, throwing strikes over a matchbook. A's outfielder Tommy Reynolds said Rene Lockman used to love it. Locke was catching him, and he'd put down a gum wrapper, and Satch would throw it right over that gum wrapper. He'd throw a breaking ball over it. Wherever he put it, Satchel threw a ball right over it. Confirmed. Well, Lockman said he was something. I'd catch him on the side a lot. I'd fool around with him a lot and say, I heard you threw strikes over a gum wrapper. He said, put one down. And sure as spit, he threw it right there. And he was still throwing when he was 59 years old. He struck out the side when he was 59 years old for like 1-2 innings or something.
Talk about a rubber arm.
Holy smacks. 5:31, Cameron, Pete, and Flounder. So much more coming up. Flounder's Funnies and tweet. We got tweets, we got stuff, we got reaction, we got all kinds of stuff here. Look out. Here we go. Stay around. The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's a camera. How's it going? Here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
The left manages to manipulate language, using words, using phrases seemingly innocuous, but that slowly over time create a specific mindset for you, a mindset that aids the left.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watch Company, where quality and value make the difference. Locally owned and located in Sandy Springs, offering you the finest selection of unique diamonds, sapphires, rubies, and emerald jewelry, as well as other fine gemstones. Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watches has been servicing Rolex watches for over 30 years, and their Rolex-trained watchmaker will service your watch in their state-of-the-art Rolex service center in their store. Lee Brandt uses only genuine Rolex parts, and their estimates are free. Drop by Lee Brandt in the Trader Joe's Shopping Center in Sandy Springs or visit LeeBrandt.com.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
As an official community partner of the Atlanta Braves and the Atlanta Braves Foundation, the Warrior Alliance connects warriors and their families to free services such as health and wellness, housing, employment, education, legal services, and so much more. We need your financial support to increase our impact and change thousands of lives for those who served in the U.S. Armed Forces. It takes more than just thank you for your service. Make a donation to help warriors navigate to success after service. Go to thewarrioralliance.org/donate and make a difference today.
Being in an accident really bites. You need people around you that are going to make the whole process easier to deal with. I just described David Van Sant at Van Sant Law. He used to work for the insurance companies. What an advantage. He knows who to call, what to say, and they're not going to pull the wool over his eyes. Give him a call. Van Sant Law, 855-GA-INJURY, vansantlaw.com, 855-GA-INJURY.
It's the unsung hero of your home, your garage door. You never think about it. You just hit the button and it opens until it doesn't. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors. So you're ready for a new garage door. At All Four Seasons, we offer fast service, affordable prices, and a huge selection of styles, colors, and custom features. Improve your curb appeal, lower your energy bill, secure your home home and increase your property value. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 seasonsgarages.com.
It's definitely different time. 5:35. Timmer, Pete, and Flounder. How you doing? Little Stevie Wonder here. Stevie was hurt seriously on this day, 1973. He was riding in a car, crashed into a truck on I-85 near Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Stevie Wonder was in a coma for 4 days, and the accident left Stevie Wonder in 1973 without any sense of smell. I'd hate to have to not be able to smell.
Well, you can't taste anything.
Yeah, it would sure be different. Although I wonder, I suppose the worst one of the senses to lose. I mean, I hate to be blind and deaf, but I'd hate to lose your sense of touch. You couldn't tell if you were on fire, if somebody hit you, or you stepped on something.
That's hard to lose one. You got one sense to lose.
Yeah,
it's hard.
Sense of touch. How the hell could you? You didn't know. I mean, you wouldn't know whether you're wearing clothes. I mean, really, think of all the things you wouldn't know.
You got to keep sight. Hearing's pretty important too.
Yeah, but the sense
taste is the least important, but still.
Yeah, but still sense of touch.
Hey, by the way, this just in.
Yes.
Imane Khalif has just beaten Jam Sawanafing.
Oh, really? The girl? Actual girl? Well, so he's on the way to a medal then, obviously. I think there's one more.
Yeah, he's got one more, I think.
And then, now, does he have to face the other guy?
No, they're different weight classes, I believe.
Ah, okay. Because I was wondering why that never came up, but clearly. By the way, Pete, one sports thing here. David Robinson's birthday, Hall of Famer, 59 years old. And on this day in 1926, an American teenager named Gertrude Ederle became the first woman to swim the English Channel. It took her 14 and a half hours. She was 19.
Amazing.
Isn't that amazing? Pretty cool.
You think you can see France when you're standing there in Dover, but the thought of swimming it.
And by the way, if you think, oh, I could swim a mile, I guarantee you cannot swim a mile.
It's cold.
If you're just a regular person, I mean, unless you're a marathon trainer, but even if you're a lifeguard, if you took Red Cross life-saving lessons and someone said you have to go swim a mile, I guarantee you it would not be what you think.
I could if it's a placid lake.
Yeah,
the water's kind of warm.
And you can take your time.
And I'm on my back and I'm finning, as we used to call it.
Dog paddling or whatever. Yeah, still
floating on my back.
You could make it, but swimming for a mile, no. Doing the Australian crawl or the side stroke or the breaststroke or something. I mean, breaststroke maybe, but the Australian crawl, I don't think so. On this day in 1890, the electric chair was first used in a prison in Auburn, New York. 1890, the first electric chair, the convicted axe murderer William Clemmer was fried for killing his girlfriend. And again, this was the first time ever in 1890, and they botched it the first time, so they had to zap him twice. Sorry, pal. Hold on a minute.
Anybody got a spare
Give
sponge?
us a minute. We'll be right with you. Hey, stop wiggling around, all right? I got to put the helmet on here. What are you doing? Oh, God.
Should have shaved his head.
Oh, shaved his head and put the water and sponge on it, and then metal the cap, and oh, God.
What's a Green Mile?
Your ankles, a Green Mile, yeah.
Did it on purpose.
Oh, lordy. 5:38. Okay, a little politics here, and then we got a whole bunch of these too, but let's do this. Now, in case you haven't heard it, that snotty little snot stain, Jamie Raskin, the congressman, is a supposed constitutional law expert. Nancy Pelosi, who's going to hell when she dies, picked Jamie Raskin to be head of the January 6th committee business, that big phony stuff they did, and then destroyed all the records so they couldn't go to prison for their lying and cheating. Anyway, so Jamie Raskin has not given up. He's still working on the January 6th committee for next year. He's suggesting they get a bill passed in light of the recent Supreme Court decision about opportunities and rights and so forth, and that Donald Trump can only be prosecuted for things outside of his constitutional duties. So Raskin now wants a bill paired with a resolution declaring the last January 6th an insurrection and those involved engaged in insurrection, because Donald Trump was never charged or convicted of insurrection, which is why they couldn't keep him off the ballot in Colorado and all those other places. So anyway, he said he wants to initially get the idea of decertifying Donald Trump if he wins based on the abuse of the 14th Amendment. So Jamie Raskin, Flounder, if you would, this is cut number 4 describing what he wants to do.
Again, it's necessary, but it's not sufficient because what can be put into the Constitution can slip away from you very quickly. And the greatest example going on right now before our very eyes is Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which they're just disappearing with a magic wand, as if it doesn't exist, even though it could not be clearer what it's stating. And so, they want to kick it to Congress, so it's going to be up to us on January 6, 2025 to tell the rampaging Trump mobs that he's disqualified. And then we need bodyguards for everybody in Civil War conditions, all because the 9 justices, not all of them, but these justices who have not many cases to look at every year, not that much work to do, a huge staff, great protection, simply do not want to do their job and interpret what the great 14th Amendment means.
Tell the rampaging Trump mods he's disqualified. We need bodyguards for everyone's Civil War conditions. There will have to, this author writing this opportunity of an opinion piece basically said there'll have to be troops in the streets as Carmela takes her oath of office to stop the public from interfering while anyone who protests gets gulagged. They defend this as a novel legal theory, except they're busy prosecuting and disbarring people, even tangentially involved in using novel legal theories. Dems criminalized election denial. They specialized in it. If Raskin is serious, their endgame strategy is to hope to take Congress and rejection the results of the 2024 election using any protest in response so they can declare martial law and impose Carmela as president. Everything they falsely accused Trump of doing in 2020 is, of course, what they're doing now. And you know it means they're getting ready to do it themselves. There we are.
And when they say what they're going to do, they do it.
Believe them. Believe them. Holy cow. Anyway, one quick, just sort of a kind of an ugly story to talk about with the Olympics and everything. And so what's happened with all the Olympics from the very beginning when they had the opening ceremony and everything else. Here's one last little thing, and then I really haven't. I didn't watch anything last night, and I think there's some final stuff. I don't know whether I'll watch a little bit of it tonight. It's just I can't do it. But anyway, Michaela Skinner. There are 2 Michaelas who are Olympic athletes. 2 girls named Michaela. Michaela Skinner is getting very emotional and pleading to Simone Biles to tell her social media followers to lay off. Apparently, Michaela Skinner is getting hate. Her loved ones have received hate, including death threats. She said the Olympic silver medalist Michaela Skinner competed with Biles at the Tokyo Games, spoke to the 7-time medalist with a wave of hateful comments that included death threats. Simone, I'm asking you directly and publicly to please put a stop to this. Ask your followers to stop. You've been an incredible champion for mental health awareness. A lot of people need your help now. We've been hurt, attacked in ways I am certain you never intended. It started because Michaela criticized the team's work ethic in a deleted YouTube video where she said they seem to, the girls don't have the same work ethic. A lot of girls don't work as hard. And so then, that was what Michaela Skinner said. And so then Simone Biles reacted when they won the medal. She said, well, I guess we're just a bunch of lazy people who don't know how to work or something like that. And that started it. And so then Michaela apologized. She said, I didn't, I know you guys are wonderful. I didn't mean to say anything, but that didn't stop it. And now it's on, and now they're getting death threats. I mean, come on, my God. And again, this is social media. This is not real. It's not real. Nobody did anything so bad that you have to threaten to kill somebody. I mean, seriously, it's this thing. It's the phone. It's the iPhone. I mean, anyway, modern. I mean, it's what we got.
At some point, we're going to have to seriously have a discussion on what kind of world we want to leave for Keith Richards.
Yeah, because he's going to outlive us. He and the cockroaches are going to be the last living creatures on Earth. Keith Richards and the cockroaches. What a thought, by the way. Oh, Lordy. And speaking of thoughts and animals, I almost hate to do this. And again, you'd think, why in the world would they go in the first place? A place in Queensland, Australia. Dave Hogben, 40-year-old doctor, was with his family. His wife and his 3 kids were there, but were not right on the shore as he and his wife went to a special place in a riverbank at a park. What the hell's the name of the damn thing? He was at the riverbank and a place where people go specifically to see really large crocodiles. It's Crocodile Bend to see the really the big crocs. Despite being tall and strong and fit, the conditions of the terrain meant that Dave Hogben was unable able to get himself out of the water when the riverbank collapsed and he slipped into the water. As he slipped into the water, his wife came to his rescue, and she soon began sinking into the riverbank, grabbing onto his arm. Then all of a sudden, a crocodile shows up. Quote, Dave's final decisive act was to let go of Jane's arm when he realized she was falling in, despite knowing she was his only lifeline. Within moments, he was taken by the crocodile. Yes.
Question.
Yeah.
Is he really a hero? Is he really a hero for letting her arm go?
You sure about that? You sure about that?
Try to trick the Kimmer.
I mean,
maybe he was trying to drag her in and then get out himself.
Maybe it slipped.
He might have slipped. He might say, "You're coming with me, baby." I don't know. No. Now, see, I hate when you do that. His wife's on the thing falling in, and he lets go of her arm to save her, and a crocodile freaking eats her. Ate his whole freaking thing right there. She said, he saved me. The last act not to pull me in with him. I'm glad I'm still here because it could have been a millionfold worse for everybody involved, not just the boys. Their children are aged 2, 5, and 7.
Sorry.
They didn't see him getting eaten, but by the way, this 16-foot croc was found 2 miles away. Authorities shot it, killed it, and opened him up, and sure enough, there was Dave.
Okay, we talked about this in the break. You know the Aborigines are standing there watching these people from Sydney fly up.
Yeah, the tourists come in to see the big crocodiles.
Get eaten by the crocodiles.
Yeah, and you know that they are...
the Aborigines are going...
why are you people...
why are you anywhere near that riverbank?
Yeah, you don't see us in there. There are very good reasons. They learned over the years. Anyway.
Millennia.
546. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. My God, poor guy. Eaten by a crocodile.
Oh, bad death.
Lordy. Well, his wife's watching him. Bye-bye, honey. Oh, mercy.
Chop, chop.
God. She probably shoved him in. I don't know. Maybe not.
During the craziest election season we've ever experienced, you need a voice you can trust. Not headlines, not former shock jocks, but veterans, conservative leaders, and Atlanta talk radio legends.
This is the ballgame. This is for all the marble. This is like...
this is for the country.
This is 8 years of turmoil.
Count on the conservative voice of Atlanta to bring you the biggest names in politics as this wild election season changes by the day. This is Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, XTRA 106.3 and the XTRA app.
Convenience is defined as the state of being able to proceed with something with little effort or difficulty. Well, at RBM of Atlanta, we embody this philosophy. Meet our Mercedes-Benz pickup and delivery service. It gives you back time and money. Does your Mercedes-Benz need service? If so, we'll pick up your vehicle that's requiring service from your home or office and bring it back to our dealership for the required service. With over 100 appointments available every weekday, over 50 appointments on Saturdays, and more than 200 courtesy vehicles in our fleet, we're here to serve. We'll work around your schedule. We're here to save you time, energy, and money. RBM of Atlanta is a J.D. Power 2023 Diamond Dealer of Excellence for the customer sales experience and Georgia's only 9-time Mercedes-Benz Best of the Best winner. We're proud to be Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964. Pickup and delivery service restrictions do apply. Ask your service coordinator or service advisor for details.
Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's for Howard Brothers and Echo. Hey, folks, have you heard? It's almost time for the Echo one-day sale at Howard Brothers. On September 11th, visit your local Howard Brothers for fantastic deals on Echo power equipment, chainsaws, blowers, trimmers, and more. Whether you're a professional or a DIY enthusiast, Howard Brothers has the Echo tools you need to get the job done right. So mark your calendar, bring your friends, and don't miss out on the Echo one-day sale at Howard Brothers on September 11th. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Echo and Howard Brothers.
Hey, it's Tug from my friends, the Frost family of First Liberty Building and Loan. You hear about their family's company all the time here on Extra 106.3. First Liberty has helped hundreds of small businesses grow by saying yes when the big banks say no. On Wall Street, opportunities to earn big returns are everywhere. But for Main Street investors, those opportunities are hard to find. Until now. Our First Liberty notes are now open to qualified Main Street investors, paying interest rates of 8 to 13% while helping fuel the growth of small small businesses right here in Georgia. With a few basic qualifications and with as little as $25,000, qualified Main Street investors just like you can earn an 8 to 13% interest rate. If this is you, they'd love to hear from you. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com and consider joining the First Liberty family today. That's FirstLibertyGA.com. FirstLibertyGA.com.
First Liberty notes are not obligations of or guaranteed by any financial institution and are not secured by any collateral. They are not FDIC insured or guaranteed by any government agency. You could lose money. Purchasers must verify their SEC accredited investor status. Securities are not being offered in any jurisdiction in which it is unlawful.
This is an announcement to all United States vehicle owners who own a 2003 or newer vehicle with a manufacturer's warranty about to expire or no warranty coverage at all. With a struggling economy and the cost of living on the rise, Endurance is now offering an affordable, low-cost vehicle coverage plan to the general public. As of today, you could be one of millions of drivers that now may qualify to have your vehicle protected under this coverage and have all future covered auto repairs paid directly to the repair shop for you. You pick your plan. You pick your deductible. You even pick the repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental coverage is included. Get your vehicle protected now and save your wallet from costly vehicle repairs. A toll-free number has been established for you to call for your free 5-minute quote and to see if you qualify. The number to call is 800-298-9383. 800-298-9383. Again, that's 800-298-9383. Coverage, deductibles, and claims may vary. For details, go to EnduranceWarranty.com.
Let's say you have to spend $1 every second of every minute of every hour, day after day, month after month. It would take you doing that a full 36,000 years to reach $1 trillion. The government is far more efficient at spending your money than you are. They're doing $1 trillion every 100 days. If you don't see the need to shore up your hard-earned money right now with something that will act as a firewall against economic insanity, you're not looking very hard. Precious metals, in particular gold, always been a safety net in times of looming economic trouble. I bought my first gold years and years ago. The investment has more than paid for itself. With over $3 billion in trusted transactions, thousands of 5-star reviews, and a 24-hour risk-free purchase guarantee, Lear is the precious metals leader you can trust. Get your free wealth protection guide. Lear will also credit your account $250 towards your purchase. So call them today, 800-957-GOLD. 800-957-GOLD.
Here we go. Chubby Checker. Come on, baby. Let's do the twist. Holy cow, did that change America? The first time, this was in 1960. It was on American Bandstand, which we talked about yesterday. The first day was on. And Chubby did the twist on Bandstand. You know, twist. It went to #1 on the U.S. chart. And then 18 months later, it was #1 again. The only song to be a #1 song on 2 separate occasions.
I'm not familiar with this dance. Could you give us an example of it?
Well, yeah, baby.
Here we go.
I absolutely can.
Here we go. He's up there dancing. He's giving it. That's the twist. All right, that's enough of that. I just wanted you to do that in front of the camera.
And later I could do the pony.
The pony? Okay, sit down before you fall on your ass.
And now I can take off my shirt.
You almost missed his chair there.
I almost fell off his butt. Like that's never happened before. Anyway, I remember the first time I saw my parents. Any teenage, because I was like 14 or 13, and you see your parents doing the twist thing, and you're so cool at the country club, and everybody going, "Oh my God!"
I never saw my parents dance.
Oh Lord! Well, good for you. You're
never.
Thank God.
Oh. And that's not a euphemism either.
Oh no! Yeah, time to do the laundry, honey. Kids are asleep or whatever. Jerry Hollowell, Ginger Spice, 52.
Oh, yeah. My favorite.
Yep. Hugh Hefner's ex, Kimberly Conrad, is 62 years old today. And on this day in history, 1986, William J. Schroeder died. The former Air Force sergeant was 54. He lived 620 days with a Jarvik 7 man-made artificial permanent heart. He was the world's longest living survivor with a mechanical life-saving pump. 620 days. Monica Lewinsky, 1998, the White House intern, spent 8.5 hours testifying before the grand jury about her succumbing to a pervert, scumbag, predator, Democrat hero named Bill Clinton.
You know, the Jarvik thing led to what you got.
That's right.
Stuff like that.
They came up with pacemakers. I have what's called an ICD, which is it's like a pacemaker. If I have some kind of a irregular thing in my heart, it'll shock me. If my heart stops, it'll shock me. But it does keep track of every heartbeat, 24 hours a day. I go once a year to have him check it, and he can tell me if it had a 6. Everybody has little heart murmur things, and he can tell me to the second of any day when I had a 6-second episode coming on. It's unbelievable.
And now they got that thing with this station advertises that, and my brother sent it to me. You put your fingers on the thing, and it works.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's true. It's real. It's true. Anyway, pretty cool. Our 5:55 here, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. In case you missed it again, this new VP candidate, the Minnesota governor, is so liberal, he explains it himself. If you would, Flounder, let's take cut number 2 of Tim Walz on what he believes. The old cut number 2 right here.
But we can get out there, reach out, make the case. And for one thing, don't ever shy away from our progressive values. One person's socialism is another person's neighborliness.
One person socialism. He said it out loud.
I don't know any socialists in my neighborhood.
I don't know of any social. I probably do and don't know it, but I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Why are they afraid to say it?
People are out there because they're afraid to say it, but not anymore. I mean, I assume he's saying these things out loud, so there we go. And by the way, even Van Jones at CNN, and we know that the reason that he was picked was because he didn't want any Jews on the ticket because he knew what's going to happen with the socialists. No question about it. It was a fix was in. It was another coup. It was a coup attempt against Donald Trump by the Democrats and worked. It was a coup to get Biden off the ticket, and it was a coup to make sure they didn't have a Jew on the ticket.
And now
Simple
you have a San Francisco socialist and a Minnesota Marxist.
That's right. That's right. And even Van Jones at CNN's a little... Oh, hold on a second.
No, that's not them. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Harris and Walzer are going to come out to say hi to the crowd here in a second. When they do, we go live for just a few seconds. First, in the meantime, let's play Van Jones at CNN, Flounder, if you don't mind, which is cut number 8 on what he considers about this pick coming up here. Cut number
Conservatives, the right wing, the Republicans, they were chewing their fingernails down to the knuckle because they were afraid of a Josh Shapiro. They were afraid of a Mark Kelly. They're not as afraid of this new governor because they think they can define him. So here's the challenge you've got in this party. And people don't want to talk about it. We got to talk
defined
about it. On the one hand, you have a lot of young people who are concerned about Gaza. You have a lot of Muslims and Arabs and others. They have not felt seen by the Biden administration. You start hearing that genocide joke. That was building. And so those folks needed to have a candidate that they could feel comfortable with. This helps them in that regard. But you also have anti-Semitism that has gotten marbled into this party. You can be for the Palestinians without being an anti-Jewish bigot, but there are some anti-Jewish bigots out there. And there's some disquiet now, and there has to be. How much of what just happened is caving into some of these darker parts in the party? So that's going to have to get worked out. It's going to have to get talked through.
Well, that's Van Jones at CNN. And again, I'm flabbergasted. I sort of figured they weren't going to pick the Jewish guy because of the outrage from the Socialist Party, the Democrat Party.
And he just came out and gave a rip-roaring speech in Philadelphia, pretty much said, hey, you should have picked me. Now you blew it.
Now, we couldn't hear it, but he is a very animated speaker. He looks like a really good public speaker.
Yeah.
And apparently for a little guy, I guess short man says he really makes up for it with his vibrant personality.
Walz is going to look like, a wet dish rag after this guy.
Yeah, he is. And by the way, his unit in the... Army his unit in the Army National Guard where he served basically called him a fake and false stolen valor for claiming he was a higher rank that he was not entitled to. And it was the whole thing. He didn't follow his orders. He didn't serve the time he should have, and then he called himself the longest serving.
Everybody's got
ranking.
their phones up, so it looks like it could be any second now.
You know what was trending on Twitter earlier with Walz was Brian Dennehy.
Oh, yeah, the phony, the Vietnam veteran.
Here they go. Let's see what music
let's
they
go
have.
live, Frown, to see what they're saying.
Oh, he's a big dude. Look, I'm pointing to people that we can't see.
We can't hear the music. We were wondering what the song was they're going to play. In the meantime, I just blew Flounder's funny. I blew the whole...
I love how they point to people they can't see in the audience.
Yeah, they're turning their back on the crowd and pointing to somebody on the curtain. Oh, he's so happy. Oh, Carmela. Oh, God. Oh, she's arriving. Fat white guy. Oh, my God. Live in Philadelphia. I still can't know what kind of music. If we were wondering what their intro music would be, some kind of hippie freaking leftist
Springsteen or something. Green Day.
Born in the USA or
Wussies from Green Day.
Anyway, holy smokes. God, we're out of time, Flounder. Good work today, my friend. Thanks, everybody. Kimmer, Pete, Flounder. Gotta go. You're killing me. Christine, sing me home, baby. Hoorah, Herb, look out. Stand by.
The Morning Extra from 6 to 10 a.m. and The Kimmer Show from 3 to 6 p.m. Only on WFOM and W292EV Marietta. Extra 106.3 FM.